I have Ravi Vara with me. Ravi, first of all, good start for your side and for you personally.
Yeah, good start with the bat, and it's nice to have a win on the board. Obviously, it's in a short competition like this, you need to win your early games, otherwise it's very difficult.
But what's the thing with you? Because tough situations, you always come out best. The way you pace your innings, the way you read the game is always, something different as far as you are concerned.
It's probably to do with playing 300 games, experience, and knowing the opposition as well. They've got Rashid Khan. With the other bowlers, you can afford to sit on Rashid Khan. This is particularly yesterday's game, but it's such a difficult place to defend. The boundaries are small. It's very hard to bowl in the last 5 overs here.
But for you personally, playing in this area, it's always a different challenge as well because as far as Afghanistan cricket is concerned, they have got some very good spinners as well. So for you also, it's something, learning of sort after having played so many games as a T20 player.
Always learning against different oppositions. There's always there's 5 bowlers I'll probably face today I've never faced before. So just learning to play against them. They will have some tricks that I've never seen before. So they've got a little bit of an advantage over me to start. So let's see how the game goes.
Any inputs you're sharing with the younger lot with your teammates?
Sharing info is very important. I need to know as much as I can from the local boys, and obviously sharing information about the overseas players for the opposition as well. It's 1-2 balls in this game can change the whole game, so it's very important.
Thanks, Ravi. All the best.
Thank you.
Arsenal put 7 foot.
Welcome back for the second game of the evening, and it's going to be a big one. Balkh Legends taking on the Kandahar Knights. It should be a special game, and I have with me the man, everybody knows, Brendan McCullum. Brendan, first of all, not a great start for you as a side. Last game you lost early wickets.
Yeah, look, that can happen in this form of the game, and especially when you're sort of not quite sure of the wicket. But look, I thought overall we did well to hang in that last game. We gave ourselves an opportunity, but unfortunately ran second in that game. But tonight's another night and another opportunity for us. And if we can play a little bit better than what we did last night across all three facets of the game, we'll give ourselves a chance. But we also know the opposition's very good side.
Yeah, talking about your side in particular, you've got a lot of talent in your side, especially the local flavor. That's going to be very important because along with the overseas players, 4 overseas players playing in the 11, the local flavor also adds on.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's I guess the team that can gel the quickest between their overseas and their local boys, and create that team harmony and understanding of how you go about your games and where you fit into the piece of the pie is going to be the team that probably stands on the podium at the end of the competition. But for us, it's just a matter of trying to grab early cohesiveness and just understand what we're trying to achieve and just go out there and play as free as what we can and try and put the performance on the board. And it's a great opportunity for all of us to try and get another bit of silverware.
Brendan, also, along with the individual performance, it's also about sharing inputs with the younger lot, sharing your experience, your tremendous experience playing all over the world. You've done really well. So also those inputs are important for the younger lot.
Yeah, obviously, that's you're in a very privileged position when you've played for a long time that you're able to, I guess, impart some knowledge and some experience onto other guys. You don't want to force it on people, but if anyone wants any information or knowledge, then you're certainly willing to try and help. And I think that's one of the beauties of being able to play or have some longevity in this game. You're still trying to be fiercely competitive yourself and make sure you get a good performance. But I'm always there to help the other guys and enjoy being a part of a team environment. That's what got us into this game, being part of a team set up and trying to have team success, and that's why we're still doing it.
All the best, Brendan. Nice to talk to you, and it's back to the comms out there.
Thanks, Ajay, and thanks to Brendan McCullum for joining us ahead of this match between the Balkh Legends and the Kandahar Knights. McCullum, of course, one of the Kandahar Knights players. They lost yesterday, and lost disappointingly, it has to be said, to Nangarhar Leopards. They posted only 139 for 9, and losing by 6 wickets with 9 balls to spare. Balkh, meanwhile, they were very impressive. An 8-wicket victory against Kabul, and that included Ryan Tenduskarta making an unbeaten 78 from just 46 balls. So that's what we've got for you. The second game today, the Balkh Legends and the Kandahar Knights. So one of the outstanding players for Balkh yesterday was Ravi Bopara. He made an unbeaten 38 in that victory against Kabul. Let's hear what he had to say a little earlier now.
I have Ravi Bopara with me. Ravi, first of all, good start for your side and for you personally.
Yeah, good start with the bat, and it's nice to have a win on the board. Obviously, it's in a short competition like this, you need to win your early games, otherwise it's very difficult.
But what's the thing with you, because tough situations, you always come out best, the way you pace your innings, the way you read the game is always, something different as far as you are concerned.
It's probably to do with playing 300 games, experience and knowing the opposition as well. They've got Rashid Khan, with the other bowlers, you can afford to sit on Rashid Khan. This is particularly yesterday's game, but it's such a difficult place to defend. The boundaries are small. It's very hard to bowl in the last 5 overs here.
But for you personally, playing in this area, it's always a different challenge as well, because as far as Afghanistan cricket is concerned, they have got some very good spinners as well. So for you also, it's something, learning of sort after having played so many games as a T20 player.
Always learning against different oppositions. There's always new. There's 5 bowlers I'll probably face today I've never faced before. So just learning to play against them. They will have some tricks that I've never seen before. So they've got a little bit of an advantage over me to start. So let's see how the game goes.
Any inputs you're sharing with the younger lot with your teammates?
Sharing info is very important. I need to know as much as I can from the local boys, and obviously sharing information about the overseas players for the opposition as well. It's 1-2 balls in this game can change the whole game, so it's very important.
Thanks, Ravi. All the best.
Thank you.
Ravi Bopara, who was in outstanding form with the bat yesterday for the Balkh Legends, as they secured that victory over Kabul, and we've got him to look forward to this evening, when his side come up against the Kandahar Knights. And this is what it all means in terms of the standings. Balkh, top of the ladder at the moment of the 5 teams, and Kandahar, the only side yet to secure a victory. So Balkh can move clear of the other 3 sides on 2 if they secure that win tonight. And Kandahar, well, if they get the win, what a table it would be with all 5 sides all stuck on 2 points. Remember that of those 5 teams, only 4 can go forward to the semi-finals, the playoffs, at the back end of this tournament. 17 days in total, the Kandahar Afghanistan Premier League, powered by FOG, 23 matches. So we've heard from both camps, and now let's go down to Charu Sharma, who's out in the middle, and time for the toss.
Well, in cooler times, we're on to our final match on day 3. The 2 captains and, of course, the match referee are to my left. To begin with, the Kandahar Knights, represented by the captain. There are legends all over Afghanistan cricket, Asghar Afghan, and to his left, of course, Mohammad Nabi, the skipper of the other team. So good luck to Balkh again. You've won a match already. And, of course, our match referee, David Dukes. Thank you so much for being with us. So, Mohammad Nabi, you have the coin. Asghar, your call.
Head.
Heads is the call. All right, now that's been ascertained, but for the cameras once again, you've elected to bowl. Any particular reason?
Bismillah, I would like bowl first because I want to register 150, 160 because the later on may be coming some due, that's why.
So you expect that 160 is chaseable?
Yeah, if the due is coming, it's easy because, you know, a lot of this, because the boundary is too much short and our batting also good, that's why we're going for chase.
The batting didn't quite prove itself in the first game, but you obviously trust it enough to chase, what, 160, 170?
Yeah, every day is a different day because, you know, because yesterday was past day, do not think about them because today new day, we think about positive cricket inshallah.
All right, any changes in the team for your second match?
Same team.
Same team, good luck. All right, Mohammad Nabi, you're going to be batting first. He says he's not going to allow you to score more than 160.
Yeah, it's wicket looking good for the batting as well, and we'll try our best to put a good total on the board as well. Yeah.
What would you have done had you won the toss?
Yeah, same bowling first because later on it's a little bit due and off field as well. Yeah.
Well, you won your first match very comfortably. Any thoughts for the second match? Any change of strategy, players?
Yeah, we have one change. Kas Ahmad is in, and Mirza Ashraf is not playing today. Yeah.
And of course, your own abilities with the ball, you were fabulous. Maybe a few more runs with the bat?
Yeah, if I have got a chance today, we'll try my best to score on the board.
All right, you have 1 win under your belt. Good luck for today.
Thank you.
So confirmation then that the toss was won by Asghar Afghan and he chose to bowl first.
That pretty much makes sense, I think, winning the toss and deciding to bowl. The option of batting with the possibility of due later on. Well, here's the Balkh Legends side, and it's a very impressive side, good balance, and towards the bottom there you can see Mohammad Nabi mentioning Qais Ahmed, the young wrist spinner coming in. The one thing we picked up on yesterday, I think, in their victory was that if there was one thing lacking, it was the possibility of some other spin options apart from Nabi, and they've covered that by bringing Qais Ahmed into the side today, the under-19 player who's been in action in the under-19 Asia Cup most recently. Here's the Kandahar Knights lineup, and well, they've got a little bit of work to do after what happened yesterday for them, but they've got real power at the top of the order with the likes of Paul Sterling and Brendan McCullum, and then down in the middle order with players like Karim Sadiq, Kevin O'Brien and Karim Janat as well. It's a well-balanced side. You look at the spin options there with the likes of Hamza Hotak, who bowled very nicely yesterday, his left arm spin, and real pace from Tymal Mills, the England left armour. So we should be in for an absolutely cracking match here this evening. Alistair Campbell alongside me, and Alistair, it's a very important match really when you look at the table, because if Balkh secure a victory, that takes them up to 4 and clear in the standings. And if that happens, well, what that means is that Kandahar are cut adrift. Even in this early stages, that's not where they want to be.
No, you're right. The Kandahar Knights definitely need win, get on the board. The Balkh Legends, an opportunity if they win here to go to 4 points, and that goes a long way towards getting their competition off and running. And remember, just the top 4 qualifying for the playoffs. Here's a look at that leaderboard at the moment. Kandahar Knights, as mentioned, played one, lost one, so they lose again here today, and they lose pretty badly. That net run rate not looking too healthy, and goes even further awry. But the Balkh Legends on top, they win tonight, they stay on top, and they'll be the first team to 4 points, and that'll be 2 from 2. So everything to play for is going to be very, very interesting to see how things pan out. Interesting also that both captains deciding that if they had won the toss, they would have bowled first, preferring to chase on this particular surface. No surprises there. Ravi Bopara mentioned it in his interview that, you know, it's a small ground, so it's very hard to defend. So no surprises that they wanted to bowl first, let the team get whatever they need to get, and back themselves to chase it down.
As we saw in the first match of the day today, that virtually anything's chaseable. We saw Ben cutting loose along with Hashmatullah Shahidi, and they gave Paktia Panthers an almighty scare with those 2 Nangarhar Leopards batsmen before the Panthers got across the line for their first victory, a win by 21 runs. Two umpires on their way out to the middle for match 5. Second match of our second day of double headers here at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium in this Kandahar Afghanistan Premier League, powered by fog. Not a big crowd in this evening, but it is a working day here in the United Arab Emirates. It's the first day of the working week. Working week runs here from Sunday to Thursday. So Kandahar batting first in their opening match. And there's an interesting sight as well, Alistair. You can see Asghar Afghan, he's got the gloves on. He took the gloves briefly during their first match to allow Karim Sadiq to bowl some off-spin, which turned out to be very effective. He bowled one over, I recall, and got Anton Devcic out straight away. So it looks as though Karim Sadiq might get an early opportunity with the ball again here.
Yeah, might be able to bowl his full quote. He's a good fielder as well, so maybe that would have been talked about, that he's better served being in the outfield and bowling than being behind the stumps. But you always say that you want specialists doing the tough jobs, and tell you what, it's all very well having Asghar Afghan, the captain, deciding to go behind the stumps, but he'll be out of practice, and just hope that there's not a stumping or a sharp chance that goes awry because you haven't got a specialist in that position.
Here are the two teams then for this match. Kandahar Knights winning the toss and deciding to bowl first. The Balkh Legends very nicely balanced, and with the addition of Qais Ahmed, the young wrist spinner, batting a long way down. Ben Loughlin actually listed to come in 10 there. I'm sure he'll come in a little bit earlier than that. And the Kandahar Knights, well, that explosive top order of Paul Sterling and Brendan McCullum. They're two excitement machines. Colin Munro then opening the batting this evening. It's bowled by Rashid Khan for 7 in the Balkh Legends previous match, and Usman Ghani, who got 40 in 36 balls but just struggled with his timing a little bit in that previous match against Kabul. And first and foremost, they're going to be up against Tymel Mills. Quick bowler who's now a 2020 specialist around the world, complete with headband, to try and make it a little easier for him in terms of sweat, because it is quite humid out there this evening. He's going to be operating from the pavilion end. Just waiting for everything to be in readiness. A little bit of movement behind the bowler's arm, not for the first time, it has to be said, in this tournament.
I think he's finally okay. Colin Munro, no, he wants there's bags there getting his way. Maybe that number 5, I don't know. That's really good to pick that out. There's a vast expanse of blackness there Yet he's picking something out in the corner. Maybe it's the number 5. Maybe the white ball gets lost in there. Not sure how. But anyway, that should suffice. I think he's happy. And we can get underway here. Tymal Mills had an indifferent game, you'd have to say, the previous one. And he'll look to right things in this particular encounter.
3 overs and 3 balls, none for 34 was his figures in that previous match. Here we go, match 5. And straight away, a lovely piece of timing by Colin Munro, punching square on the offside. Kevin O'Brien does the fielding. And the Balkh Legends underway.
Always crucial, the first 6 overs. The power play, only 2 men out on the boundary. So they're going to need to take advantage. We saw Mohammad Shahzad do that really well in the first game. And they'll look to get round about that 55-60 mark. That'll be the aim. You want to be scoring around about 9-10 to the over in these first few overs, and that sets you up for a good score, and that's what they're going to need to get you, because we've seen some big scores chased down here in the evening. So you know in the back of your mind, as the batting unit, that you need to aim big. Missed out in the first game, Brendan McCullum. So when he gets his chance a little later, he'll look to make amends for that. But at the moment, he's got a lot to do insofar as organising the field is concerned and making sure that the right strategies are employed.
And a boundary to Usman Ghani straight away. Fog maximum 4. Very friendly delivery, really, with fine leg up in the circle. All he needed to do was get a little bit of bat on that and beat the fielder. And very comfortable 4 runs for Usman Ghani.
Yeah, plenty of pace to work with. He's quite a slippery customer, as Tymal Mills, no doubt about it. Gets it up there, 140 k's an hour. So invariably when he misses his mark, when the batsman gets some willow onto it, especially the deflections, tends to go very quickly.
And that'll be 4 more. Should be buys, I think. We'll wait for a signal. That's confirmed. And all of a sudden, Balkh are getting off to a flyer.
Yeah, not the easiest take, but I'm alluding to the point I made earlier. When you don't have a specialist wicketkeeper behind there, those difficult deliveries, if you're not practiced, sometimes can go awry, and that's exactly what's happened here. It's swung after it's left the bat, it's gone further to his right, but it was rather ungainly, you'd have to say, from the captain, Ashgar Afghan. And, well, all he can do is react that way. Doesn't go against your analysis, Tymal, don't worry, but they've already got 11 on the board and just 4 balls have been bowled.
And again, he strays onto the batsman's hip, and they'll come back for 2. It's a very sloppy start, this, from Kandahar, and the body language of Tymal Mills wasn't great when the ball eluded Asghar Afghan behind the stumps.
Yeah, just the way they're walking around just seemed a bit lethargic at the moment and not really up for the game. They need to get with the program very quickly here, because the first over is still a ball remaining and it's conceded 13.
Round the wicket now, Tymal Mills, because he's struggling with his line to the right-hander. That was better, but they still scamper a single, these 2 batsmen. The end of the first over, and Balkh Legends already 14 without loss.
Stay in the ring for now. Kev, go and do that one.
Kandahar Knights unchanged from their previous match. Balkh Legends bringing in Qais Ahmed, their young wrist spinner. You can see at the bottom of their list.
Right arm round. Right arm round.
Under 19 international. Looking forward to seeing him a little bit later on. And as we predicted, given that Karim Sadiq hasn't got the gloves on, there was always a very strong chance that he would be bowling in the first 6 overs with his off spin. very effective off-spinner at this stage of an innings. I've seen him bowl inside the first 6 overs on a regular basis. He's going to come round the wicket and just try to dart the ball in.
Inspired bit of captaincy the other night when the captain, Ashgar Afghan, decided that he would take the gloves and give Kareem Sadiq a bowl, 1 over, and got a wicket, the all-important wicket.
It's interesting, actually, that they've opted to go to Kareem Sadiq both yesterday and today when they've got Paul Sterling in the side, who's a very capable off-spinner as well. Oh, goodness me, what a mix-up between these two batsmen. And in the end, all's well that ends well. But a real breakdown in communication. A yes, no, excuse me.
Gee, he's nearly sold him down the river. I tell you what, that's the classic yes, no, wait, sorry. But on this occasion, there was no need for the sorry. No, that's too far down the leg side. 2 men up in the circle on the leg side. And you can't be bowling there and get away with it. All he had to do was get it up and over the 2 men there. Easy put away in the end.
It's a free hit for the batsman, really. That one pitching outside leg stump. Just easing the pressure on Usman Ghani after he'd struggled to get away from the first 3 deliveries of the over. Not gloved cleanly by the captain.
Just the boundary off the over, so been a pretty tidy one thus far from Kareem Sadiq.
And that's sliced off the outside edge, just over Brendan McCullum at point. So yes, a very effective over, just 5 runs from it. Balkh Legends 19 without loss. Added by Ryan Tenduskarta and Ravi Bopara for the 3rd wicket unbroken against Kabul in the previous match. They're listed to come in at 3 and 4 respectively. There's the false shot from Usman Ghani off the last ball of the previous over. Just the 1 over for Taimel Mills then, and he's been relieved, and Hamza Hotak will operate from the pavilion end. He bowled very tidily in the last match. First of all, bowling like that, but then later on he gave the ball a little bit more air and he turned it appreciably.
Yes, he did. Definitely that's his modus operandi in these first few overs, is to allow the batsman no time whatsoever, just bowling darts at the stumps.
Yes, he bowled the first over of the innings in Kandahar's previous match and ended up with 4 overs, 1 for 27. Again, not gloved cleanly by Asghar Afghan.
He's just trying to hit it too hard, Usman Ghani. Doesn't seem to have a plan. Just every delivery, trying to swing it as hard as he can. Not sure he's actually thinking of his plan here. And Colin Munro, quite rightly, just walking down the wicket and having a word with him, making sure that he just takes a deep breath and obviously just find the gap. Yes, it's a boundary hitting time because of the field restrictions, but you've got to make sure that you're not eating up the balls by trying to hit it too hard.
Well, I'm not sure how that's missed leg stump. It has. I think it'll be a bye. Indeed it is, confirmed by the umpire.
I'm not sure that the captain, who's behind the stumps, is going to volunteer when it comes to the next game. He's having an absolute nightmare at this stage. Hasn't taken one cleanly. And I know he would have tried to do this for the team. Maybe when Kareem Sadiq's bowled his second over, he'll say, right, I've had enough of this. You come and keep wicket. I'm not going to do this all 20 overs. This is for the fairies. Right, so Munro cleaned up in his previous game by Rashid Khan. Only got 7. He comes with a big reputation as a big basher.
End of the over, 20 without loss. There's the Kandahar Knights squad for this tournament, and you'll see in the left-hand column Mohammed Mitten Ali, as he's also known, from Bangladesh, and he's a regular keeper. Heaved away by Usman Ghani, just a single. That's probably just as well from a Balkh Legends perspective to get him off strike, because he is trying to hit the ball too hard. But it's interesting. I wonder if Kandahar, if things do go wrong for them again today, whether they'll contemplate bringing Mitten Ali in as a specialist keeper, because specialists, even in this shortest form of the game, are often the best way to go.
Right, just trying to get the field right here now for Colin Munro. Always a tough task as a captain when you've got a left-hand, right-hand combination. Got to make sure your fielders are aware of the fields you've talked about prior to coming onto the field, and making sure that everyone is in place and in place correctly.
No.
Of course, if they do go down that route of bringing Mitten Ali in, they'd have to leave one of their overseas players out, whether it's Kevin O'Brien, Paul Stirling, Brendan McCullum or Tymel Mills.
That's better. That's better from Usman Ghani. He's been trying all along and hasn't made the requisite contact on that occasion. Right to the pitch of the ball and smokes it down the ground. Excellent shot.
Yes, he's been going across the line for much of the time so far, but a little skip down the pitch and drills it back over the bowler's head. Full face of the bat, very nice.
Right, so Colin Munro on strike here. What's he going to do? Is he going to try and take him on? Bowling a good length, you'd have to say, Kareem Sadiq. Not easy for the batsman to just stand and deliver. You have to use your feet. And when he's done that, Usman Ghani got one over the top. Colin Munro favouring the approach to stay in his crease. But he's having to hit on the up the whole time, which is very difficult.
Dot ball to end the over, 28 without loss. Seven and over at the moment then, the Balkh Legends going at, and this is a great sight, isn't it? The fact that this broadcast of the Gulbahar Afghanistan Premier League, powered by Fog, is going all around the world. The inaugural edition. Hamza Hotak, his second over, bowling over the wicket to the left-hander. Oh, and again, real confusion in the running between the wickets.
There's potential for this to end in tears. Tell you what, there's a lot of confusion, miscommunication. Well, this time he's able to get more of a bat on it, but still straight to the fielder, struggling to find the gaps here. These two, Colin Munro 5 off 8 and Usman Ghani 18 off 19, just haven't been at their fluent best.
Well, he's found the gap now between point and cover. He had a few goes. In the end, perseverance brings its reward.
Yeah, nicely placed. I think both have been guilty of trying to hit the ball too hard. They know the conditions are good. They know they should be doing a bit better than what they're doing at the moment. On that occasion, he just waits for it a little bit more, plays it under his eyes, and able to find the ample gap through the offside.
Now over long off. Spagiza, first maximum of the game.
Welcome, Colin Munro. That's what we've come to know and love over the years. He's managed to pick this up off a length and smear it down the ground. A short-arm jab, really, nothing more than that. He's such a powerful bloke, and he knew straight away he had got all of it. Really, really good shot. Mid-off up in the circle, so as soon as it got up and over, it was always going to be safe, but it went very hard into the chairs there.
And 4 more. Another Fogg maximum boundary. And a really good over in the end for the Balkh Legends. 14 from it. It's 42 without loss.
So this has been a very good start as far as Balkh Legends are concerned. Munro going strong, 19 of 11. Ghani keeping pace with him, 18 of 19. Descarte, Bopara, Rasuli, Mohammad Nabi, the captain, with the bat deep. Decent start. The important factor is they haven't lost a wicket so far. And some lovely shots as well coming their way. And this was one of them by sitting that gap with a lot of ease and efficiency. A bit short, and just see that's one as well. A lot of power behind that one. Clobbering on the offside. So much time you have once the ball is pitched short. You can get into a good position. And they have played all over the park. With me, the com box is once again Charu Sharma. Charu, welcome. And what a beginning here for the Balkh side.
Well, they're off to a decent flyer. For both, it was a little bit of trouble to begin with. Again, Usman trying to hit the ball too hard. Munro too couldn't find the gaps of one. They did. Ended with a 4-6-4, and that's really turned things around. Of course, Tamal Mills' first over also made a big difference when he gave plenty of runs away. But otherwise, I've got to say that Kandahar are in trouble.
Yeah, you're right, and the key is picking up wickets. Saeed Shirzad, left arm seamer coming on from the Sharjah club end. 8 wickets for him. Still early in his T20 career. It's going to be a learning curve for him. Playing against good quality batsmen, bowling against them. The crowds that have come here really enjoying every moment. It's a double-header today. Of course, tomorrow being a rest day, and then again we'll have a lot of interesting games in the Gul Bahar Afghanistan Premier League, powered by Fogg.
Got onto Usman very quickly. A lot of the Afghan fast bowlers can really whip it up. It's just maybe a little more experience about what exactly to land the ball in terms of length, because in the T20 format it's pretty brutal anyway. Slightly overpitched, slightly short, and you go for so many runs that it just can be a little difficult.
Yeah, you know, it was interesting. As soon as Asghar Afghan won the toss, decided to bowl first, and when he was just walking back, he was just feeling the ground as well, whether there's any dew or not.
Yeah, he looks like a captain in a little bit of trouble, and the team certainly is, having lost their first match.
White ball.
Such a lot of effort, that big grunt when he delivers. Oh, Shehzad, you got to keep it on line too.
He's got to be careful because it doesn't have much protection on the onside. The fine leg feet inside the circle. So the line has got to be very, very around the off stump. Can't be straying down the leg side.
So Sadiq is back after bowling a couple of overs as the keeper. He is the regulation keeper. And we've got to suggest that maybe Asghar Afghan was just standing in for him. It's been a long time since he kept, so we'll have to be a little generous. He wasn't quite, he's already feeling around for the spinners. Straight back of the bowler, could still go for a fog 4, and it does. Oh, I think Shehzad might be feeling the ill effects of that. Try to put a boot to it.
Although he got it, that boot to it, but still there was so much of power, immense power behind that stroke. And still going over the ropes. Lovely shot there, almost like a tennis shot. Backhand, oh, might be hurting him as well.
Well, he's going to be looking out for that left heel when he gets back into the dugout, that's for sure. We hope he's okay though. Colin Munro, tremendous power, that 464 the last over. Just an indication of how hard he hits the ball.
This is much better. You've got to change your pace. Oh, still running. That's going to be confusion. And that's going to be the first wicket as well. Total confusion out there. There was just one man running. Yes, no, yes, no. And in the end, by run out, they pick up a wicket here.
Usman Ghani, of course, got it because they had a little yes, no, maybe earlier on. 2 or 3 times. They got away with it. This time, Ghani took off because he saw that the keeper hadn't collected cleanly. But Colin Munro, who'd missed that, was unclear about where the ball was. He wasn't looking for a single at all. And by the time he realized it, it was far too late. I don't think it was a judicious run at all. Ghani pays the price. And Kandahar finally have something to cheer about. They weren't going too well so far. Easy run out there. Ghani will be very disappointed. A gentle little removal of the bail. However, Usman's innings comes to an end. 19 from 20. Again, couldn't quite cut it. 48 for 1.
So at number 3 is Ryan Tendulkar. Really played a very good knock in the last game. Will be high on confidence. A match-winning innings provided the framework for his side. A lot of experience behind him. He's played all over the world, and just see those runs, over 6,000.
He's got a promotion, hasn't he? Mohammad Nabi says, well, if you can score that kind of a strike rate and 70-odd runs, then he might as well go number 3. Of course, he has plenty of time, 15 overs, to work his magic once again. Terrific strike rate, 26 50s. That knock yesterday was fabulous. Just the way he hit the ball, clean hitting, through the gaps more often than not, striking at about 200 yesterday.
He's played in the IPL as well for the Kolkata Knight Riders. Mentioned he's played all over the world. That experience really helps. He plays his innings very nicely. Again, off the mark there. He's dabbing it. Playing it very fine. And the 50 up as well for the Balkh side with that single. Although they lost a wicket, but this is a decent start. They utilize the power play. Colin Munro still out there. When they come to bat, Kandahar really will be banking on someone like Ryan Tendulkar, Mohammad Nabi. They bat deep.
Very impressed with the pace that Shehzad has worked up today. Doesn't mean too lucky. Oh, trying to steal a quick single. This could have been very dangerous. Of course, a direct throw would have been the end of that. But the throw came in sharp. End of the 6th over, 51 for 1. No more damage to Balkh.
So Legends doing well, 51 for 1. For really, it's been a very good start. 16 dot deliveries so far just in this innings. Exactly what they wanted. Going to be Kareem Jannat from the pavilion end. Another very good all-rounder. He's got ability with the bat, with the ball, and really a fan falling as well for him. A lot of support for the Afghanistan players. It's a big occasion. Oh, pure timing. Very nicely timed. Not trying to hit it too hard. But that's sublime timing by Munro. He's looking great touch.
It was a half volley. Just had to go back to it, but you're right. The timing was exquisite. And once it pierced the gap, there was only one, well, there are two men outside the circle on the offside. And the cover sweeper nowhere near it. Too straight for him. Very full, over-pitched. Easy boundary.
It's a left and right combination, so as a bowler, you got to adjust your line. That's going to be important. You've got to see if this is what T20 cricket is all about, the variations, how quickly you adjust. As a batsman, really you got to read off the hand as quickly as possible, the length, get into a position. Mohammad Nabi, the captain, very experienced man, very capable with the bat as well.
And very popular. I was trying to decode what those guys chanting was saying, and I think it was Nabi, Nabi. I'm not too sure. He's certainly very popular. Oh! Almost got his man. The Scottish biggest asset at this point in time is the fact that Colin Munro is going so well. It gives the Scottish an opportunity. There he is. Full flow. Ryan tender shot. Enjoy the show. 78 of only 46. Match-winning knock.
What I loved was his footwork, very deft, very precise, knew exactly what he was doing. Changed the gears very quickly. The spinners, just see a few streaky shots. They all count. Just some lovely hitting as well. That was the game versus Kabul. That's a good delivery, much better. Good running, good understanding on that occasion. In fact, Endescarte was looking for the second one as well, which wasn't there.
I must say, two very good deliveries by Jannat. Almost knocked through again the defences of Endescarte. But he survives and even gets a single out of it. Just the first ball was too full. Otherwise, this has been three very good deliveries by Jannat. And that's what Kandahar need, just to keep this pair quiet for a while and let the pressure build up. I think Asghar Afghan was thinking about 160, which I'm sure Balkh might get. And then, of course, it could be a slightly difficult chase.
Good thinking. As you rightly mentioned, it's been a good comeback for him. After conceding that early boundary, some good deliveries, banging in shot. Exactly what I was mentioning, not to be too predictable as a bowler. He's changing his length, altering his length, pace as well at times. And he's sharp, really bending his back. Good delivery. A .1 to end the 7th over. 58 for 1. Change in bowling is going to be Vakar, who was very impressive the other day. And this is how Balkh Legends have fared so far. The partnerships, 48 for the opening wicket, that laid a good foundation. And Munro and Endescarte still out there. Two big partnerships so far, but they're continuing the good work.
I do continue to feel sorry for Usman Ghani because he needs a big knock here to try and get back into the reckoning for Afghanistan. Of course, twice he's tried, maybe tried too hard, if one can be a little critical. And today, run out when he really shouldn't have called for that, knowing that the batsman was completely disoriented. Munro at the striking end.
Yeah, also for everybody, you can create your own fantasy side, test your skills, and win big real cash with myteam11.com. And meanwhile, we also have a hammer down. Let's see who he has.
Thank you. Thank you. There we are with Aftab Alam, one of the striking bowler for Afghanistan right now. And let me tell you something very special. He's a big fan of Salman Khan, and you guess who? Next, Cristiano Ronaldo. I will ask him who is his next star in cricket. Manana, چې join نکړم او زه تاسو څو پوښتنې لرم دغه APL چې څنګه روان دی د افغانستان لپاره یو ډیره غټه خبره ده ستا لپاره څه معنا لري ځکه اوس ریسنټلی ایشیا کپ کې د ماشاءالله ډیر ښه پرفارمنس و او د هغې ځای نه دلته تا ته څه فرق معلومیږي په دې ټورنمنټ کې
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم ډیره مننه کوم حمید جان تانه او بالکل د دې ټول افغانانو زول ټول افغانانو ته د APL مبارکي وایم ډیره غټ لاسته راوړنه د افغانستان د کرکټ لپاره د ځوانانو لپاره خپل ډیر خوشاله یم چې ډیر انټرنیشنل او د 20 سپیشلیست لوبغاړي را سره په ټیم کې دي همداسې ټول ټیمو کې دي نو ډیر خوشاله یم
مننه دا دې راته ونه ویلې په دې ټورنمنټ کې چاته غواړي چې بالینګ ونه کړي ځکه خو یو د بل نه هر یو ټیم کې ښه لوبغاړي شته زړه کې دې داسې یاره شته
نه هغه زړه یاره مې اوس ختمه شوې ده ځکه چې اوس بس غټو غټو لوبغاړو ته م بالینګ وکړه نو الحمدلله یاره ختمه شوې ده نشته ده بس خپل بالینګ اوس کوه
ډېره مننه ویش یو آل د بیسټ
مننه کوه والله دې بیرته زر جوړ کړه سیره خیره راسي یو ځای موږ سره شي
ډېره زیاته مننه تھینک یو
One fast bowler talking to the other one. Always interesting. And meanwhile, it's some majestic hitting. Great striking here. Munro in great form, not missing any opportunity. This has been a very productive over for the Balkh side.
Consecutive sixes, both in the same direction. Similar ball, similar shot. The first one hitting the skirting of the roof. So luckily for the authorities, the ball stayed in. I think we've already lost just about 15, 20 balls there. That's the second one, down on one knee, great extension in the arc and well over the boundary line. Two consecutive Shpagizas.
I think he's going to be a danger man. The way he's batting, if he bats 4-5 overs more, it's going to be pretty trouble as far as Kandahar are concerned. Oh, that's not a great delivery. That should be a wide as well. Chinaman bowler Vakar. I think what Munro is doing against him is really reading him pretty well off the hand.
20 specialist lobgari ra sara
Mentioned about those sixes hitting the skirting of the roof, and then once again a big one. Just see the bat flow, the bat speed as well. Tremendous.
Yeah, once again, a matter of length, they were too full.
That's much better. Appeal as well for stumping, but I think he was probably in. Hitter was gone, 74 for 1.
Last over going for plenty. Thanks for joining us for our coverage of the Kandahar Afghanistan Premier League, powered by Fog. We're reaching the end of day 3. Of course, it's only the first innings of our feature match, the evening match. Kandahar Knights, a team in trouble, lost the first match, didn't quite get the runs, just about 140 or so, easily chased. And by Nangarhar, that is. And today, of course, they have their task cut out against Balkh, who won their match quite comfortably. A very good batting side. Colin Munro today, 44 from just 22.
And still no stopping, because he's really milking the bowling at this stage. Just so well set now. He's read the condition, the surface, no issues. Mohammad Nabi pretty happy the way things have panned out so far in this game. They won at least 200 plus, Charu. Just seeing the conditions out here.
Yeah, well, Asghar Afghan said, I don't want to give more than 160, but from what we can see so far, if this pair carries on for a while, Colin Munro's done very well. We know what Deshkarti can do. I think they can go well past that. Gone! I got the outside half of the bat. Colin Munro's terrific inning comes to an end. Great catch by Baz. He was flying. He was at the right place at the right time. Or is it Sterling? Beg your pardon. Sterling it is.
Yeah, a bit of movement as well, because he was going for the big shot, thick outside edge, not where he intended to play. And Paul Sterling at point doing the rest. That's a big wicket, a man who was well set. Just see a slight movement there. Good delivery from Jannat. His back of length, slicing that one. And Paul Sterling jumping to perfection. He's delighted. He's pepped up. Knows the importance of that wicket, of a set batsman. Munro played really well for 46, 76 for 2. Man who's played over 300 T20 games all over the world, Ravi Bopara. Tremendous experience behind him. This pair was the one that really provided the framework in the last game, batted really well. He's at the crease, Ravi Bopara, after the departure of Colin Munro.
I must say, well bowled by Jannat. You might take a look at that wicket again. The ball did move just a bit. Colin Munro threw everything at it, got the outside part of the bat and flew to Sterling, who at backward point took a smart catch. The way things are shaping up, this could be a really serious total for Balkh. They could get to even, 180, 190.
That's good running, very good running. And well responded as well by his partner of the mark, Bopara.
Well, I know things change or could change rapidly, but I'm sticking my neck out for a high 100s, maybe 185, 190 or so. There it is again, just angling across. And even though Colin Munro was spotting the ball really well, just slightly loose, uppish. And a nice, neat catch at backward point where it was flying. Reaction time, not too much.
Yeah, just coming from the outside edge, just slicing that one. And that was, as you rightly mentioned, Charu, because of that movement, slight movement. That's enough. Once again, just coming back to the right-hander. He's really bowled well after conceding that early boundary. Jannat giving his all. He's a skiddy customer. Getting a wicket, important wicket, a big wicket in this over.
Well, not only has he gotten the line right, but also some very good lengths, making it very difficult for the batsman, giving no easy boundary balls away except for the first. So this is a really good spell by Jannat, and is begging Balkh back just a bit. They've got to do a bit of thinking, these two. They're new at the crease, and as much as they played the starring role yesterday, it's a new day, and you never know. But they have the luxury now of just beginning a little slowly. Just like that.
Running the first one hard, and they'll come back for the second as well. Very good running, showing the intensity. 9 overs gone, 80 for 2.
Thank you all for joining us. Good to have your presence here at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. And we're all watching the Gulbahar Afghanistan Premier League powered by Fogg. Some terrific action already. This is our final match on day 3. And the action is to be enjoyed. Some power hitting, great bowling earlier on by Ben Cutting, of course, a terrific all-round performance. Unfortunately, his team went down to the opposition. Nangarhar were looking very good. And now Kandahar under a little bit of pressure. Wakar going for 16 in his first over. Those consecutive sixes hit by Munro. He's no longer there. Maybe he'll hope to do better against Ashkata.
Yeah, in fact, he's bowled much better against the right-hander, and he's utilized that googly as well to good effect. The wrong one. Chinaman bowler bowled really well in the last game for Carr. Got to be consistent with his line and length. That's going to be important for him. Once again, that googly boxing in Descarte.
That would have been a close call. But on the wrong one, he gets a fair amount of movement. It's his regular leggy that for the moment we haven't seen much spin. The ball is only 9 overs old. Oh, well done. When you pull off the reverse, it looks really good. There were 2 men behind square on leg, all on the offside for him. And he caught that so well, timed it well, very fine. And we have another Fog, Salur Reza.
He's such an intelligent customer, you know, the way he reads and reads situations, the way he paces the innings at Descarte, beautifully done by a very controlled shot along the carpet as well, playing it very fine. Once again, a googly, exactly what he's been attempting very often against right-handers. 8 fours and 3 sixes so far in this innings. Charu, this is the pair that can bat long, you know. In T20, of course, you can say 10, 12 overs you bat. That's pretty long. And they know how to adapt to any situation. They got the experience behind them.
Well, it's a perfect situation for these two, thanks to Colin Munro, who sped to, well, 40 and change in 20 balls. So that made a very big difference to these two walking in and realizing that they don't have to do anything spectacular for the next 2 or 3 overs. And if they stay there long enough, we know their big hitting abilities, and the last 5 could produce many. And that will put a lot of pressure on Asghar Afghan and his Kandahar team.
2 to come.
Would be a big relief for Wakar that Munro is no longer there. Really clobbering him.
I wonder what's your opinion, because in the regulation one-day internationals, Ajay, there was the popular perception that you double your score after 30, provided, of course, there are about 15 provisos, but provided you have enough wickets left and so on and so forth. But in T20, would you say that you work at a simple double your score if you got enough wickets after 10?
I think so. I think so, absolutely. Probably missing the off stump. Negated that appeal. It is 7 for 2.
Halfway through the Balkh Legends innings then. They were put into bat by the Kandahar Knights. Very important partnership, this one. 2 players who have the ability to be very destructive, as they proved yesterday at the back end of an innings. Shazad. Alistair Campbell alongside me. Where's the balance of power at the moment, would you say, Alistair?
Even Stevens, I reckon. Just depends on this partnership. As you mentioned, we showed how good they were the other night. Into his second over here, Syed Shazad. We saw in the previous game that it's a very good batting surface here today. First game on this surface, 218 was the score got in the evening. And looks like that'll be Well, close to be required tonight. I'm not sure that 218 is something that you can have in the forefront of your mind. You've got to be concentrating on doing the job and doing the job at hand. And that means they need to take full advantage of the scoring opportunities that are presented to them. Make sure they're not neglecting the singles either. But these two are hugely experienced, know exactly what's required from here on in. And I do think that that magic number of 200 is in the back of their minds. They just need to stay in the present and make sure they're trying to go at 10 to the over.
It's flown off the outside edge. Hamza Hotak at third man. 2 runs taken. You might remember, if you've been with us throughout the match so far, that we mentioned in the first 5 overs we were talking about the wicket-keeping issue as far as Kandahar are concerned. Karim Sadiq and Asghar Ali sharing the role. Well, someone tweeted into me a short while ago that 2 of the Bangladesh players have actually been refused their no objection certificates to play in this tournament, Mitten Ali among them. I don't know whether that's 100% confirmed or not, but that's what's been tweeted to me. Mitten Ali and Sumya Sarkar. And as I mentioned earlier, Mitten Ali, very reputable wicketkeeper, so that might explain the fact that they're having to mix and match with the gloves behind the wicket. Of course, Brendan McCullum, a wicketkeeper of long standing, but he can't do it anymore because of his back. So they've got a few little issues there. Have Kandahar at the moment.
Had to put in the dive. There's a polite inquiry from the bowler. I don't think he gathered the ball and got the stumps. I think you'll find that he maybe knocked the stumps over before the ball got there. But it definitely required the dive from Bopara. It was pretty tight.
Well, we've seen 1 run out already in the innings, and very nearly a second, because there was hesitation between the 2 batsmen. And yes, a direct hit might well have caused an issue, but in the end it was Shahzad's leg, I think, that disturbed the furniture. Very strong square of the wicket, Ryan Tenduskarter. We saw yesterday him hit a 6 over point at the back end of the innings. That's the end of the over. Over number 11, 93 for 2. Tenduskarter scoring at less than a run a ball at the moment, but as we saw last night, he's quite capable of raising his strike rate. Not a big crowd in this evening, but the fans who have come in enjoying themselves, the music's playing, and Hamza Hotak's coming back from the Sharjah club end. Tidy stuff from him so far. 2 overs for 14, including what I think is the first maiden of the tournament. I can't think of any others that we've had so far. Good work by Karim Sadiq to prevent the second. Interesting to see what Hamza Hotak does here. Last night we saw him when he came on at this stage, bowling a lot slower and trying to turn the ball, and he managed to do that quite sharply. Yeah,
the key was giving a bit of air. But I do think the two surfaces are different. I think the one last night definitely was a bit more tackier and afforded a bit more purchase. This one a lot smoother, a lot harder. So all day really we haven't seen anyone deviated too much. Zahir Khan was the only one that got a few to turn, the wrist spinner. But apart from that, it's been a pretty good deck for batting. Having said that, I do think at this particular juncture in the innings, you need to vary your pace. I think that's critical. You don't want to just be bowling at one pace as you would do in the early overs. That's it! There's a bit of air, and has he induced the error? He has. Brilliant piece of bowling, and Brendan McCullum makes no mistake on the boundary edge. We're talking about varying it, talking about giving it some air. He's done just that. That's Hotak, and he's picked up a crucial wicket.
Well, that is a big scalp, isn't it? Ryan Tenduskarter looks furious as he marches off. But he was well and truly done by a fine piece of bowling there. Just tossed up that little bit higher, beat him in the air. He wasn't to the pitch, miscued. And there are few players in the world you'd rather have under a catch like that than Brendan McCullum. Wicket for Hamza Hotak, who's bowled well this evening. Tenduskarter out for 13, and the Balkh Legends 95 for 3. New batsman is Mohamed Nabi, but the batsman crossed while that ball was in the air, so Ravi Bopara will take strike. Nabi, the captain of the Balkh Legends, and a fearsome hitter as well. He's got a little bit of time to get himself in. Gulbadin Naib, another batsman still to come, and another very powerful hitter.
That's been a terrific over by Hotak. Really what the doctor ordered. Got a wicket, bowled very frugally as well. And he'll end up just conceding a single off the last delivery. So good one. 12 gone, 96 for 3.
Afghanistan cricket fans who've made their way here to the Sharjah Cricket Stadium this evening, enjoying themselves, and why not, because we've seen some terrific action thus far. And now that Ryan Tenduskarter is out, Tarmon Mills has been called back into the attack. Mills, who had that rather wayward and slightly disappointing first over of the match, operating now round the wicket from the pavilion end. Oh, and that's played fine. Again, with fine leg up in the circle. That's a fog maximum boundary, and well, Mills carrying on where he left off in that first over that he bowled.
It was a change of pace. A slower ball, but the direction doing him no favours. Ravi Bopara able to wait for it and just deflect it fine for 4. He hasn't hit a straps tonight, Tarmon Mills. He's erred on both sides of the wicket. Lengths haven't been quite what he wanted. He needs to focus now, needs to pull it back.
Yes, he and Ravi Bopara will know each other very well. Mills used to play county cricket for Essex before he moved to Sussex. No real chance there for Karim Sadiq to get across to that one. The 100 up with that boundary to Ravi Bopara at the start of this over.
Mohammed Nabi off the mark, placing one down to third man. He can hit the ball miles as well. Just needs a few sighters to get in, and then we should see him have the opportunity to unleash Ravi Bopara, the consummate professional. He'll know that if they're going to get a decent total, yeah, he has to try and bat through to the end.
Looking for two, but they're not going to get it. That's Karim Janat there on the deep point boundary. Good work from him.
It's so well poised, this game at the moment. Could go either way. They need a big back end to the men in blue, and well, Tymal Mills has pulled this back really well after having gone for a boundary first ball. As I say that, the Urs down the leg side again. 10 and over from here on in gets them 177, 12 and over, 191. I think that's probably where they need to be in between those two scores. Take some going, and you need a couple of cameos and probably someone to bat through, and that man should be Ravi Bopara.
Karim Sadiq just wringing his left hand after taking that last one down the leg side.
It's got to rank as one of the worst jobs in the world, being a stand-in wicketkeeper, and that doesn't help. That is just a bonus run from nowhere. He's trying to justify why he threw it, but I don't think the rest of his teammates are going to give him any time of day on that one.
Tymal Mills, I think, is absolutely ticking. He was frustrated with the first over he bowled. Well, you could argue he should have been back at the stumps as the bowler. He wasn't. No one was backing up sufficiently to prevent that extra run. Sloppy cricket all round.
Just the one to end the over. 7 remaining, 107 for 3.
Here, the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. There's no action on the ground in between overs. They still know how to enjoy themselves. Karim Janat is going to operate now from the Sharjah club end. 2 overs, 1 for 13 from him so far.
Crashed away through the offside. He hit that with so much power. I tell you what, that's a wonderful effort from Kevin O'Brien. I think he's done enough to keep it inside the fence. Hit with immense power by Mohammed Nabi. He only had to move 7-8 meters and only just got there, O'Brien.
Now That's a terrific piece of fielding, isn't it? That ball was going like an absolute rocket. Third umpire's having a look at this to confirm in his own mind that that's not a boundary.
He's released it before he hits the boundary rope, so that'll be okay. It'll be a good save from O'Brien.
What should be the approach here then of these two batsmen? Should one batsman just go while the other one just knocks it around? Or should they both go hard, or simply just knock it around for the next couple of overs before they both go hard in the last few overs?
Yeah, you always know in the last 3 or 4 overs you're going to be looking for far more boundaries than you would from here on in, but you still got to be cognizant of the fact that you can't be letting too many balls go or too many scoring opportunities go, and sometimes taking an easy single is not enough at this stage of the game. They know they need round about that 190 mark, and that means they need to go 12 and over from here on in.
Well fielded. Very good work there by Waka. They've got a few options, haven't they, for the last 6 overs, have Kandahar. If we'll see Karim Sadiq again with his little darts.
I'm not so sure about bowling the off-spinner at the death. We saw the experiment with Sikandar Raza. Didn't go very well. I'm just, even no matter how good you are, I just think it's so difficult for a spinner to bowl at the death when the batsmen are after it. You need that seam bowler bowling. Shazad, I think the left armour, he's going to be used in Tymon Mills. That's what he's in the side for. So he hasn't had a great first 2 overs, bowled the first one, and then we saw the one just a moment ago. I'm sure he'll be saved for those last 4 overs. He's run a ball by Para at this stage, needs to improve on that. Can't leave everything up to Mohammad Nabi. He needs to make sure that he's playing his part as well.
Swing and a miss. It's well bowled. It's pretty tightly over this from Karim Janat.
Great over from a Knight's perspective. Just the 5 from it, 1 ball remaining. Needs to concentrate here, needs to have a plan as to what he wants to execute. Flashed away through the offside. Just be the single. Just the 6 from the over. 14 gone. 112 for 3.
Overs to go then, the Balkh Legends innings. 7 wickets in hand. And Hamza Hotak getting ready to bowl his 3rd and final over. Excellent stuff from him so far. 3 overs with a maiden. And the wicket of Ryan Tendaskata. Switch of ends for him too now, because he's going to be operating from the pavilion end. Mohammad Nabi will know all his tricks, of course. The two have played together at international level for a long period of time.
Yeah, I think he's going to cut loose here, Mohammad Nabi. He's going to look for a few big shots. Has to. Yeah, it's an interesting one. They've applied the brakes and they're bowling really well, the Kandahar Knights. Squeezing. And that's what you want to do. You want to force the big shot. You want to force the panic shot. We're in the 15th over. So just 5 overs remaining after this one. 42 balls since the last 6. And there's a pensive camp, you'd have to say. They know that things are on the cusp here, that they probably haven't got as many as they would like at this particular juncture in the game.
It's a shot born of a little bit of desperation. Nabi, usually such a lovely clean striker of the ball, effortless striker, but that was a little bit of a slog, really. With a thickish inside edge down to long on. Delivery appreciated by Karim Sadiq behind the stumps. I think he appreciated that return from Brendan McCullum a little bit less. And McCullum acknowledging he got it just a little bit wrong. Of course, former keeper himself, so he'll know what it's like to try and tidy up some errant throws. McCullum in the game again. Oh, and he's dropped it. Really good effort. Came hurtling in. Dive full length, but couldn't hold on. Karim Sadiq appealing for a run out, but the batsmen are back for 2.
Difficult chance, but you'd normally back Brendan McCullum to take those. He is so good in the outfield. And they got there pretty comfortably in the end, just not able to make the catch. High up on the bat, and there he put the dive in. Not able to grasp it, but this part of the play we want to see. Tymal Mills, strong throw. Great take by Karim Sadiq, but he's way in. Just probably happy that he took it cleanly and whipped the bails off.
Single off the last ball of the over. 15 gone, 119 for 3.
Well, they have a very good foundation. 19 for 3 at this stage. 5 overs left. The important factor is still batting left. Nabi out there, Bukhar on 18. So stage is set for some fireworks out here. Bukhar was expensive in his 2 overs, but the captain having faith in his abilities. Just see that economy overing around 12. Goes for the big one, and this is exactly what I was mentioning. Fog maximum. Welcome Charu once again.
Thank you, Ajay. Wow, what a shot. Mohammad Nabi has been serving Afghanistan cricket ever since the start, really, of their progress into the highest levels, and he is showing that he's still capable of hitting the ball long and clean.
What a strike. I think really read him well. Just see that bat flow, knew exactly what he was doing. Into his crease only. Lovely strike. Straight as an arrow. Safest area to hit.
You know, just before this shot, I was about to say that they've been kind of moving along but not quite pushing it, and when will they do that? So obviously they've had a chat, said, all right, we're starting the final 5 overs, we've got 7 wickets in the bag, and we really need to push this to maybe the late 180s that I was talking about when we were together last, Ajay. Handsome strike by one of the biggest heroes of Afghanistan cricket. He's got Bopara for company. Oh, trying to hit the ball out of the park again. Yes, no, yes, no. Don't want to run out. Not now. Not ever in cricket.
He used the googlies a lot against the wrong ones, against the right-handers, and this one just keeping a shade low, tough for the keeper as well. They still have some batting left. Rasuli, Ikram Ali Khan. Oh, that's gone. That's good bowling. Coming out of the crease this time, Mohammad Nabi. Got to take a long walk back to the pavilion. Intelligent bowling by Bakar. And getting his first wicket in this game.
Well, that all seemed to happen by design. He knew Mohammad Nabi was likely to give him the charge, bowled the wrong one. And like I said, he does get a fair amount of turn on that wrong one. And fought Nabi completely. Charged out, was too far away from the ball. Fair amount of turn, and altogether too easy for the keeper. So one of the biggest heroes of Afghanistan cricket walks back to the dugout, having done a little bit of work, but perishing for 18. It's 1-2-5 for 4.
Another good all-rounder walks in. Gulbuddin Naib has got that power behind him. Good clean striker. He's played some very valuable knocks for Afghanistan in the shorter format. Experience as well behind him in his T20 career. 69th game for him. He's got a task at hand. Not too many deliveries, overs left here.
And a very good strike rate of about 130. I think over time, that's something very acceptable. Here's the wicket again, the wrong one. Nabi jumps out and was so far away from the ball. I'm sure he would not want to take a look at that again.
They're just getting carried away because that over got a 6 as well. That's a good delivery. Very good over. Didn't start off too well with that 6, but he's come back very strongly. 3-dot deliveries and a very important wicket of Mohammad Nabi.
Well, more wrong guns than the traditional leggy for the left-arm leggy. I think he likes that because, as I keep saying, he gets more spin off that than his regular leggy. And of course, I don't think the batsmen are reading him too well.
This game was in the air for some time. He'll pick up a single. And Gulbuddin will be on strike as well. 126 for 4. Overs left from here on, and the big question is how many runs they can get. Can they get past 170, 180 mark? Going to be important. They need some runs on the board.
Yeah, new man in always just slows things down potentially a bit, but now that they're in the last 4 overs, there isn't that much time. When Ryan Deshkata came in Bopara, there was a little bit of time allowing them to dig in, settle down. Not now though. They've got to go pretty hard and pretty continuously. Shahzad has really worked up a pace. We were talking about him. 2 overs, 14 runs. He's bowled well.
Yes, I think these overs, these death overs, always very important. The good thing is they have good strikers, 2 strikers at the crease. Gulbuddin I mentioned about him. Ravi Bopara can change gears very quickly. He's got that range of shots behind him. Very good T20 cricketer. He's probably getting that heavier bat now.
Well, they're all pretty strong lads, and then if the bats get stronger still, no wonder the ball's been flying all over the place. I think we've got near 15-20 balls that have disappeared over the roof of the stadium already. Bopara was feeling the pressure, and oh, this could be close. A direct hit and he was gone, but he survives. Just an indication of the pressure the batsmen are feeling at this point in time to try and go into the late 100s.
They want to make every ball count, and that's the reason he was off in a flash. Required a direct hit and missing by a mile out there. What a great strike there by the fielder. Tried his best. Kotak. Nowadays, Charu, as far as the bats are concerned, I was just watching Brendan McCullum's bat just before the start of the game. That bulge, you know, really stands out.
I'd rather watch a bat than lift one because these are big fellas, the bats. Naib careful for now. So let's take a quick punch here in terms of total. They go for the 2. Oh, again a direct throw. He was gone. But he responded to the call. And just a quick acknowledgement from Naib. So let's hazard a total here. What do you think they're going to get, Ajay? They got, what, 6 wickets in hand?
I still feel, direct hit, he would have been out, you know, walking back to the pavilion. So they missed on 2 occasions. I still feel, Charu, 165, 170, if they can still garner 11 runs from here on. But over.
Well, Asghar Afghan was willing to chase 160, but if they get to 175, 180, I think the Kandahar Knights will once again be on the back foot on the chase. Oh, up in the sky, this should be easily taken. Keeper trying to get under it. Plenty of time. Oh, he drops it. Incredible. One step too far. He's not going to forgive himself for that one.
Yeah, with those gloves on, should have taken it. High up in the air, had ample time. Running, the bowler definitely not very happy. He's just looking at the keeper time and again. Shehzad, that should have been taken. Top edging, went high up in the air. Gulbadin Naib, trying that pull shot, wasn't in a great position. Just looking at the ball, but that should have been taken. Oh dear, missing that one. Not able to latch onto that one. He's not happy.
I put in so much effort. What were you doing? But actually, Short Find was in a very good position to take it. But once the keeper called and ran for it, the man at Short Find said, all right, yours with those big gloves. Well, they don't have a hole in them, Sadiq. That could have been a crucial catch. We'll find out.
You rightly mentioned, Charu, about Shehzad, the way he's bowled, really very impressive. I think he's bowling back of the length, varying his pace, using those cutters to good effect. That's so very important. Not bowling in the slot. Even a man like Bopara finding it difficult at this stage. When you're looking for runs, those big shots.
Yeah, I don't think Bopara's had too much of the strike here, but he hasn't really been able to race away. So if not now, then never really. 3 overs after this left. That's 18 balls, one more 19. You've got to get at least 35, I should think, from that to get to 170 or so, which is, to me, only par. So I can feel the pressure the batsmen are facing this point of time. Another very clever delivery. Shehzad, well bowled. 17 gone. It's 134 for 4.
So 3 overs left from here on, and everyone who's out here at the Sharjah cricket ground really enjoying themselves. It's like a festival, a big occasion. The first edition of Gulbahar Afghanistan Premier League 2018. Really, it's some tremendous action going on in the middle.
Ajay, I'm really glad I'm here. It's always nice to be involved with the progress of a cricketing nation, and Afghanistan has been meteoric the last, what, 15, 18 years or so, which is not much in terms of history of the sport in the country. They've done really well. And I'm sure they're looking to do better in the Test arena, but more on that later in the T20 format. One-day internationals, they're now very competitive.
Especially right, because the way they played in the recently concluded Asia Cup, you know, beating teams like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, tying with the Indian side, it was really very credible for them. It was absolutely fantastic. The bowling stands out. You know, with some fantastic spinners they have in the ranks. And in the World Cup, but definitely they're looking forward. They look to be a very good cohesive unit.
The only one who hasn't really worked out for them, bowling-wise, is Tamal Mills. began with an over that he gave, what, 14 away? Hasn't really been able to work his way back in.
He's a specialist death over bowler. You know, he knows how to bowl, the variations. He's been off colour. Not the best so far. They're banking very heavily on him as an experienced campaigner. He's one of the foreigners who's playing in the playing 11.
Well, Asghar might have wanted 2 off him at the start, but he could bowl only 1 because he went 14. But middle overs were okay. But as you say, a specialist death over is also a rare commodity, an important commodity, and hopefully here Mills can continue to just peg back that striking power of Balkh.
The idea was right because they wanted to angle it away from Bopara. So won't be very happy with the ball just angling up a little more than expected. He's taken his time so far, Bopara. Normally just changing his gears, but you rightly mentioned the quality of bowling has been absolutely precise so far. They've done well.
Finally a ball short enough to pull, but even then there's cover at the boundary, so just one. Bopara has been dealing in singles almost all the way through this innings. Just hasn't had the easy boundary balls.
Just one of those days when he's not finding those gaps, because his striking is trying to put it away, but just finding the fielders. The lost occasion as well, finding the fielder a deep square leg, just settling for one. Bopara.
Lots of focus and concentration for the skipper, Asghar Afghan. He knows that these 2 or 3 overs could make a very big difference. And even Naib cannot really find the timing there. The ball getting onto him too quickly. Tamal Mills is quick when he wants to be.
Also, Charu, credit to Asghar Afghan, the captain, because yes, he's experienced captain. He captains the national side. The way he's handled his bowlers, because at one stage when we were there earlier in our commentary stint, it was looking like 200 plus. But the way he's captain, I think, the way he's rotated his bowlers, absolutely a great job done by him.
Yeah, they were, I'm not saying lucky, they bowled well to get rid of Ryan and Dishkarta earlier on. He could have been a problem. Where does that go? It goes for a boundary. So a fog Salureza. Boundary for Ravi Bopara. And it's taken a bit of time.
Yeah, he was eyeing that field. He was eyeing that field the earlier deliveries as well. But this time, bisecting that gap, this big gap on the onside, does well. Much fuller. Just waiting for the delivery. A lot of bottom hand. Just closing the bat face as well. Mills definitely not happy. He's not very pleased. He's got a few boundary riders on the onside. A man at long gone, deep mid wicket, deep square leg. Finally gets inside the circle.
Again, no timing there for Bopara, so just the single to end the over. Slightly better for Tamal Mills. 144 for 4 after 18.
Have a few options left. Well, Shahzad has done a very good job. 3 overs, 22 runs, hasn't got a wicket, but the economy has been very good. Mills mighty bowling the last over. He's got 1 over left under his belt. It's going to be Shahzad to continue.
Yeah, I like what Janat's also done today. He's bowled very well, not given too many runs away, picked up a wicket. Oh, up in the sky now. Who's going to get underneath it from deep mid wicket? And Kevin O'Brien from, deep square leg. Was left just an agonizing step short.
Well, they have missed a few opportunities on the field, a few run-outs, a few catches. Yes, it was a tough one. Under lights and never easy. Kevin O'Brien, a deep square leg. Trying to reach for that one. Probably a touch late. Skying there. Oh, just falling short of him. Just falling short of him.
I'm glad Shahzad can see the lighter side of that, because he would have been saying, well, put one down for me. A big brave run from both the outfielders, but they just couldn't reach in time.
Oh, once again, opportunity lost. What's happening? Shahzad is saying, how can I pick up a wicket here? I don't know. I'm doing my best.
Well, 2 catches dropped in 2 deliveries. Well, the first one, I can't say dropped because he didn't get to it. There was a little confusion between the 2 outfielders about who's going to race to it, but this one really Sadiq should have taken. There was a big stretch to his right, and for a while it seemed that he'd gloved it pretty comfortably, but maybe it slipped away when he dropped to the ground. There we go. That's when it got out of his grasp.
Almost getting into his glove there. Those big gloves, and that's the reason he's more disappointed. Earlier was just smiling when it fell short of Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh, drifting down leg. Didn't get too much onto it, but enough to get a boundary. So this is very, very welcome for Balkh.
The 150 up as well with that strike. Very, very happy. Extras moving very swiftly as well. 16 extras so far. These are all important runs. Can make the difference. Getting a bit of thigh pad out there. Going very fine. But I think this is the time, Charu, when as a bowler, you've got to try those yorkers, those cutters. That's going to be important. This length is always suitable for the batsman.
And that's why, even though Shahzad has bowled very well and works up a lot of pace, I really would have preferred somebody like Jannat, who doesn't provide you with that kind of pace, and even if it hits some part of the body, doesn't go to the boundary, and he's got a little more variation as well, moves the ball around a bit too.
Much better. Just sensing the batsman coming out of the crease, bowling a touch shot. The line was good here.
Sadiq has not had a good day. Bowled reasonably well, because I think Azhar Khan had the gloves on the first few overs. There it is again. So Sadiq will not want to see this.
Then Kevin De Bruyne just falling short of him, and then again the keeper getting his glove to it. That angle was created coming down the track. Once again going for the big one, and will manage a fog 4 this time. Nicely done.
Well, Baz McCullum is having a really rough time at long on. Earlier he ran in for a catch and unfortunately got only half a hand to it and missed it, dropped it, we'll have to say. This time a terrific dive to his left, but he was left about a foot short. There it is again. Bopara just not being able to find the right kind of timing. There it is again, and he's so athletic, such a strong guy, McCullum. But even that full-length dive, unable to get him near the ball.
Such a good fielder, so acrobatic, so athletic. Brendan McCullum. That's a good delivery. In fact, he's appealing for a wicket, and the finger is up as well. There was a feather. Exactly what the bowler was asking the umpire. And in the end, Bopara has to walk back.
Robbie Bopara, not now. Just 1 over left, and when he was trying to accelerate, a new man will come and making it a little more difficult now for the Balkh team. He'll try and catch that edge once again. He seemed a little unclear. I can't really hear that though. But the keeper thought, yes, that's all done and dusted. And it was a late appeal by the bowler, but the umpire finally responded, and Ravi Bopara has to go back. 34 of 29, not as quick as not. 156 for 5.
So Rasuli walks in, he'll be at the non-striker end. Gulbadin Naib will be on strike. It's going to be Mills up, expected. Bowling at the last over. Has been expensive today, but they'll settle for a couple of runs. Gulbadin Naib would like to keep strike with him. especially after the departure of Ray Vupara.
Yeah, you had high praise for Gulbuddin Naib, and now's the time to prove that in the next 5 deliveries he can take his team to 170-75, which is a little above par, and make the Kandahar team think a little about the chase. 160, I suppose they'll go into the dugout saying very well done. Well, not 160 now, I'm sure they'll get past that, but even 165, 170, I think Kandahar will take. Anything more than that, they'll feel they've given too many. Oh, Mills tried that slow bouncer and he got it completely wrong. Should have gone for 6.
Yeah, you're right, because probably just read it a bit late. Gulbuddin Naib tried to pull that one, but no pace in that. I read it early, could have really dispatched it. Rasuli just come in, it's not going to be easy for him.
Well, Ajay, the next 4 balls, well, every ball in the T20 match is critical, but the next 4 are very critical because they've got a new man in there, Rasuli, who will probably try and go at it very hard instead of giving a single away and getting Naib onto strike. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, airy-fairy shot. Well, that is exactly what he had to try, and managing a fog 4. Not where he intended to play.
Well, Jamal Mills continues to show us a bemused look, saying, well, it's not really working out for me today, is it? Lots of balls going up in the air, can't pick up a wicket, giving too many runs. Not my fault, surely, skipper.
Had to go for everything. This is the stage, not too many deliveries left. Once again, trying his best out there. Not his day at all. Mills not very happy.
Oh, well bowled. Well, he'll be saying, well, look at that. I can't even get very bowled. Bowled so well, slower one. Completely foxed Rasuli.
I think it looked like a back of a hand delivery because really didn't read it at all. Very tough for a new batsman. He's got it beautifully. Yes, back of the hand. Oh, absolutely fantastic. That's the reason he's such a good death bowler.
True. And Gulbuddin Naib will be kicking himself now for taking that single. Although, of course, Rasuli did get that edged 4. But Naib might have thought he would have taken heavier toll of the last few deliveries.
Once again, very nicely done. He's not giving much pace to the batsman. That's important. Let the batsman force his way, play those shots, those big shots. Not giving any pace to the batsman. Intelligent bowling.
Yeah, Rasuli gave a bit of an embarrassed look after he missed that again completely. I wonder if it went off the bat or the helmet, or what was another slow bouncer, by the way. Back of the hand. And we'll see what happens with the bat later on. 1 ball left. Jamal Mills has proved that he's a much better bowler at the death. Gave too many to begin with, but now 164. Will they end up with a 6 or a 4? Last ball of the innings.
Is it going to be a Yorker or a slow delivery? Oh, full end delivery once again. Will have to settle for 1. This has been a very good over by Mills. So 165 for 5 is what Balkh have managed in 20 overs. I think it's been good captaincy by Asghar Afghan. He should be pretty happy what they have done on the field at one point of time. Just looking like Balkh might score something in the region of 180, 200. They have really bowled well. That's the reason they'll be pretty happy at the halfway stage.
Well, that's what he had predicted. Asghar Afghan saying we're going to bowl first, we're going to limit them to 160, so you might say he's given 5 too many, but that's okay. And the only one who didn't quite work out for them, Ajay, is the main strike bowler, Jamal Mills. But the rest bowled pretty well. Shahzad worked up a lot of pace. Jannat have a lot of time for with his variation. The spinners were okay too. I think they will rue the fact, Balkh that is, that they had Colin Munro go after he's going really well, and Ryan Deshkarter today couldn't any historic heroics. Gotta get the right word. And of course, Bopara, he was there for a very long time, but couldn't quite. I'm sure he'll be disappointed that he didn't get a better strike rate.
You're right, because if you see the start they got, 48 runs for the opening wicket. Munro looked really in good touch, 46 of 24. Then Bopara played well, Nabi 18 of 13. He couldn't finish things off. The batsman taking a bit of time, especially in the middle overs and after the 10th over. And in the end, 16 extras helped their cause. 20 overs scoring 165 for the loss of 5 wickets.
Yeah, the list confirm about who bowled well. Mills going for too many. Wakar also giving quite a few. But in the middle, Those are fabulous figures. If you keep it around 7 and below, Hotak very well bowled, Jannat terrific, and of course Sadiq too, though he bowled only 2. We can take that. All right, down at the ground, Brian Murgatroyd, who do you have with you?
I've got Kevin O'Brien with me. Kevin, thanks for joining us. 165 for 5 at the end of that 20 overs. Would you have settled for that at the start?
Yeah, that's what I was looking for, to keep it around the 160. So the wicket looks good. You know, under lights it skids on here at Sharjah, so not much due. So I think it's got a good batting wicket. So hopefully we can start well and get a good first 6 overs and get over the line.
I was going to ask you about that. I assume one of the reasons Asghar decided to field first was the fact that they could be due in the second innings. No sign of it yet.
Yeah, nothing yet. There's a tiny little bit, but you know that might change in the next half an hour or so. But at the moment, it feels like it's good for bowling, so I don't think it's going to play too much of a factor. So we just got to play well. They're a good bowling unit, so we just got to back our skills and hopefully get over the line.
And in terms of the approach, I guess with Paul Stirling and Brendan McCullum at the top, no prizes for guessing what's the first 6 overs are going to involve.
Yeah, well, you've seen it throughout the tournament so far. You know, the first 6 is crucial, especially over here. You know, with the new ball skidding on nicely. So, you know, 2 guys don't look to hang around. So should be some fireworks here in the first 6.
Confident?
Yeah, of course. You know, 165. You know, we've got a good batting lineup. You know, we're a little bit disappointed how we performed yesterday, but you know, hopefully we come back better now today and get the 2 points.
Kevin, thanks so much for joining us.
Cheers, thank you.
Looking very confident, Kevin O'Brien, and he's pretty happy. They have done a good job restricting the opposition to 165. Started off pretty well with that opening partnership, 48, then 28, but after that 30, 31. Not too many big partnerships, and that's the reason they finished at 165 for the loss of 5 wickets. Balkh legends.
Yeah, Munro, the standout performer today, batting-wise. Kandahar Knights seem to be pretty confident about knocking off 166. It's not going to be easy, but they need to get on the scoreboard. So a little bit of desperation, certainly some pressure on the Kandahar Knights, and they will come and try and chase that 166 in just a while. Do stay with us.
Well, welcome back to the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. The Balkh legends batting first in this encounter this evening. 165 for 5 in their 20 overs. They should have got a few more than that, you'd have to think. Stalled in the middle overs. Bopara not able to get going. 34 of 29 after a decent start. And I'll tell you what, they will rue those last 10 overs. They got to nigh on 80 off the first 10 and weren't able to capitalise in the second 10. Some good shots nevertheless all round the ground, particularly Colin Munro up front was brutal. Down the ground, square of the wicket as well. And I'll tell you what, when he hits it, take cover, because it does go a long, long way. Some decent bowling as well, and then this happened. There was threatening to be a run out all evening long, you'd have to say, between those two, Usman Ghani and Colin Munro. He carried on his merry way though, finding the boundary and hit some big, big sixes. And then this happened. Paul Sterling making no mistake. Ryan Tenduscarter came to the crease. And, well, he threatened for a while and then miscued one off the attack, who took a very important wicket. Bopara hung about, nudging, nurdling. And a few lusty blows as well of Qais Ahmed, but then disappeared. Did Mohammad Nabi. Stumped, an easy stumping for Kareem Siddiq. They put down a few chances, did the Kandahar Knights. And well, will they rue those chances? Time will only tell, but they should have made a better effort of quite a few chances that were presented to them. So in the end, it ended up being an effort that probably should have yielded a few more runs. 165 for 5, probably should have been round about that 180, 190 mark. However, they have what they have and they've got to try and defend it. The Kandahar Knights in need of a victory. They need to get on the scoreboard. They're the only ones who don't have points in the competition so far. So they'll come out here knowing full well that they have to bat well in order to get past this 165. The Balkh legends, they've got a good bowling side. Mohammad Nabi, not afraid to lead from the front and open the bowling. He's done that many times in his career, did it in the first game of this tournament, and, well, looks like he'll do it again, bowling to Brendan McCullum, one of the best in the business. He's been so destructive over the years in all forms of cricket, really. But this 20-over stuff, have a look at that, 350th game today. Just short of 9,500 runs. That's just unbelievable stats. Best of 158 not out, and a career strike rate over all these years of just under 140. His partner is the Irish sensation Paul Sterling, and he can hit it hard as well. 168 games for him, plenty of experience there. 28 50s with a best of 109, and his strike rate as well, just over 140. So these two, if they get going, stand by. Mohammad Nabi, though, will have something to say about that. He's such a canny customer, knows exactly what's required in these opening overs, varies his pace and length, uses the crease well. He's so difficult to get away. Alongside me, AJ Mira, how do you see this panning out?
Thanks a lot, Alistair. Yes, you're right. I think this is a very good move by Mohammad Nabi as well, bringing himself on with the new ball. As you mentioned, very canny customer, knows exactly how to go about, can bowl those dart deliveries. Really was a very tidy line and length, and he requires early wickets. Zitullah Safi at the bowler's end, the umpire, Ahmed Shah Bakhtin at the square leg region. The square leg umpire is all in readiness. It's going to be a very interesting run chase, this one. They need a win here as far as Kandahar are concerned. First delivery off the mark as well, Paul Sterling. There's a very experienced pair, opening pair, Brendan McCullum, Paul Sterling. As you mentioned, nearing the 10,000 mark. Brendan McCullum has played all over the world. Some great innings in this format.
These conditions are good for batting. And if past games are anything to go by, 165 is below par. But having said that, if you can get a few early wickets and put the batting side under pressure, then suddenly everything gets brought back into perspective. But at the moment, they'll fancy their chances big time, the Kandahar Knights. Not turning, playing for a bit of turn. Brendan McCullum trying to work it away on the leg side and just carries on with the arm, gets a thick outside edge. He's got so many natural variations, Mohammad Nabi. And the new ball presents those natural variations. Oh, there we go. Up in the air and over. The first Spagiza of the Kandahar Knights innings. It only just cleared the fielder out there, but that's all it has to do. And Brendan McCullum is off the mark, and off the mark with a maximum.
What a strike. Was in the air. There was a man in the D. Mohammad Nabi thought he had his man there, but it was really well struck. Exactly what he can do. Oh, will be more runs here. That should be wide. Yes, it is. Not a great delivery. Expensive over to start with for Mohammad Nabi.
Yeah, not a great piece of bowling from Mohammad Nabi. Down the leg side. And evades the batsman and the wicketkeeper as well. So not the start that he would have wanted, Mohammad Nabi.
Wanting a single there, Brendan McCullum sent back by his partner Paul Sterling. I think that was a good call as well. Would have really made it. Not the swiftest between the stumps.
Bowling. Good bowling.
I want to try and get the bulk of the run chase done in these first 6 overs. If they can get off to a fast start, get 50 to 60, and only require 100 or so of the next 15, it just takes all the pressure off. And that's exactly what they'll be trying to achieve here. Pulled away. It's gone square, and I thought they might think of 2, but happy to settle for the single. End of the first over, 13 for none. So a good first over for the Kandahar Knights, aided by a wide as well down the leg side. So they couldn't have asked for anything more than 13 off that first over. Aftab Balam. He's a really good new ball bowler, got lots of variations. Bowls at a decent pace as well. Best of 4 for 25 in his 23 games. He'll want to try and bat through this innings, I reckon, Brendan McCullum. Try and get a big score under his belt. It's always good in a new tournament early on to get some runs behind your name, especially if you're one of the big players, one of the star players. Just want to settle everything down. And this will be a comfortable chase for him. There's no real pressure. They're not chasing 200, 210, where he's got to throw some caution to the wind. He can actually be a little more circumspect and can go about his business of accumulating runs rather than taking too many risks. Having said that, that's not his way. He likes to take on the bowling. He likes to flay the bowling all around the ground. Interesting what compromise he wants to strike tonight in between wanting to play his natural game of attacking to just being a little more circumspect and trying to bat out a few overs.
If you know the target at times, Alistair, you can just pace your innings, but you're right, Brendan McCullum has you know, that positive intent always in his mind, always likes to go after the bowling. Any opportunity, he won't miss it. That's played well, really well. That's going to be a fork 4. Exactly what he was doing. Over the top, clearing the mid-off-fielder with a lot of ease and efficiency.
If you were in any doubt about the caliber of this bloke, just take a look at this. Superb strike. Minimum of effort, minimum of fuss, lovely wrist work, and a lovely conclusion. Really good shot. Didn't try and hit it too hard. That was the key. Kept the head down, kept the bat flowing through the ball, and as soon as he hit it, he knew it was a boundary.
It's a good start. It's a very good start. I think what they are doing is they're putting pressure on the bowling side and getting those runs. The first one from the captain, Mohammad Nabi, a touch expensive. 1-4, 1-6 already. They're really pressing the right buttons here, both the opening batsmen. Last game, I remember Kandahar losing 4 early wickets. They couldn't really progress. But here's a different proposition altogether. Much better. Running with the stroke. It's very quick. Good call there from Brendan McCullum.
Yeah, just had to hurry a little bit towards the end here, I think, Brendan McCullum. Tell you what, to direct it, he would have been in, but only just. Just had to put in a few long strides at the end there.
Wide on.
Dot ball to end the second over, 20 for none. Mohammad Nabi to continue, going to bowl a second over.
He's got a bit of protection on the onside, Mohammad Nabi. Oh, going down the track. Just trying to work the ball on the onside. Just see the protection I was mentioning about, a man at deep mid-wicket, long on, square leg and fine leg inside the circle. So those two boundary riders on the onside in the deep.
Yes.
He's trying to find that gap on the leg side. Brendan McCullum is very proficient in that shot. The pick-up sweep, flat sweep, normally plays it to great effect. We saw in the first over clearing the man for maximum on that occasion, just getting an under edge, not able to make the requisite contact. That's found the gap. With a little hand on it, I think is going to save it from going for 4. Good hand. It was hit pretty hard into the ground by Paul Sterling. And I think it's Ravi Bopara there at cover. It's just got a little fingertip on it.
He's a strong man, Paul Sterling. When he hits the stay head, it was well timed as well. Bopara doing a good job. Once again, not giving much air, a flat trajectory from Mohammad Nabi. Very sensible Brendan McCullum. Trying to vary his pace as well. Tight over so far. Or will he finish it?
Oh, another fine delivery right up in the block hole. Just the 3 from the over. Good one from Nabi. 23 for none. Right, so things are nicely poised at the moment. 23 for none after 3 overs. Only chasing 165, so going along pretty nicely. And they'll be happy just to keep chipping it in the gap. No real need to take any undue risk. And I'm sure that's the way they will be thinking. If the opportunity presents itself to take on the bowler and hit him over the top, they'll do that. And just a signal there from Brendan McCullum, just telling Paul Sterling the variation, the slower ball is the off-cutter. That's what he received first ball there.
Oh, that's a very good delivery. That's excellent bowling right in the block hole. Never easy for the batsman. A lot of people out here. That's the Snickster Sports CEO, Ashish Sethi, watching the proceedings. So that big crowd on the opening day, and definitely after tomorrow's rest day, once again going to be some intriguing games here.
Brendan McCullum has been so good over the years, hasn't he? All the teams that he's played for all around the world. And he's been such a good addition. Adds so much value, not insofar as his batting is concerned, that's well documented, but just the way he gels a team, how he captains the teams that he plays for. Oh, that's a lovely shot. He's picked that. That's a spageezer. Don't bother running for that. Just watch it sail over the boundary. Earlier in the over, Brendan McCullum had said, hey, this guy's got a slower ball, it's an off-cutter. Well, he's picked it and deposited it over the boundary.
Oh, he's a clean striker. What a strike there. Exactly, wasn't a slot for him. Just going after that one. Effortless shot. Great timing. Going into the stands. Fog maximum. Would have been style there. Exactly what this pair can do with a lot of ease, Sterling and McCullum. They got the firepower behind them. Just the kind of start that Kandahar required. Not chasing a very massive score. Once again, very nicely picked, and that's going to be a 4. So runs are coming thick and fast.
Fog 4 for Paul Sterling. He hit a maximum, the ball before, right out the middle of the bat. And on this occasion, through the leg side. It was too short and he was onto it very quickly. Just a short arm jab. And, well, he looks like he's in prime condition, Paul Sterling, to take advantage of the bowling here tonight. He looks focused and he looks as though he wants to go about this with plenty of intent.
Just straight on the pad line once again now. Very good running, very good understanding. Productive over for the Kandahar side. It's 38 for no loss.
Of 11 for Sterling. McCullum run a ball 13. The net result of that is 38 for none after 4 overs. So up with the run rate easily, and they haven't lost a wicket as well. In prime position yet. That means there's going to be a bowling change. Gulbuddin Naib into the attack, into his 69th game. Economy of 8.2, so maybe a little on the high side, but he's got some good variations. A wholehearted performer for Afghanistan.
Yeah, I think the key, Alistair, is going to be break this partnership at the earliest. So that's the reason Mohammad Nabi trying a few things. He's taken himself off after a couple of overs. In fact, his last over from this end was very good. Just see that strike once again. Absolutely brilliant. Some lovely hitting. Getting a 6, then this 4. It's expensive over. Trying to work the ball off the onside and timing it. Trying to pick that delivery from right outside the line of Austin, Brendan McCullum.
Small crowd, but very vocal. Chipped away into the leg side, so happy just to get it in the gap and get down the other end. Brendan McCullum get on strike. His partner Paul Sterling, who's seeing it big tonight. He's played some lovely shots. Sometimes that's what happens. You feel that you're not quite getting it out the middle of the bat, not quite seeing it as you should. And the easiest thing to do is get a single and get your other partner who's doing the job. Let him continue doing the business.
In fact, Alistair, he was just stretching himself, Brendan McCullum, probably just cramping, and he's asking for some probably salt water as well. That's exactly what he indicated to the dressing room. Still a bit warm. Oh, that's high up in the air. That should be taken. That should be taken, and that's the wicket they wanted. You've mentioned about Paul Sterling. He was looking good, but just getting carried away. And Naib striking. That's a big wicket. Exactly what they wanted at this stage.
Well, it's the classic commentator's curse, isn't it? Talking him up. Come on, get him on strike. He's seeing it big tonight. And all he's done is play across one and hit it straight up in the air. It was a change of pace from Gulbuddin Naib. Give credit to the bowler. When he looks at that again, he'll be wanting to say to himself, should have hit it straight. Shouldn't have been down on one knee. Should have tried to hit it too square. He pays the ultimate price. He's on his way, Paul Sterling. Gone for 20. 59 for 1 now. Sadiq. He comes in at number 3. He does a lot for this side. He keeps wicket up as the bowling, bats at number 3. And he's got the opportunity here to spend some valuable time at the wicket. He's there because it's been a good change of pace, but not the greatest shot, you'd have to say, from Paul Sterling. Probably should have done a bit better. He played a lovely shot earlier in the innings where he just kept his shape and hit it nice and tall over long on. On that occasion, just collapsed everything. And he knows it needed to be standing up a lot straighter.
Yeah, more of a cross-batted shot, and you're right. Had he just presented the full face of the bat, was just trying to overhit that one. Could have been a 4 because he was batting so well. Looking great touch. Paul Sterling. Oh, wrapping on the pad. Looks close, and yes, the finger is up. He'll be on a hat-trick. Yeah, come back very strongly here. Very good bowling by Gulbuddin Naib. Just trying to work the ball on the onside, close the bat face, and Sadiq has to go back without scoring.
Gee whiz, I think he's a little unlucky here. Just seeing that live, I thought that may be a little bit high, maybe going down the leg side. And, well, here we go. Maybe he was a little bit across his stumps. Maybe they would have clipped the leg stump. Nevertheless, the umpire's call is final. He's put his index finger in the air. And that's 2 and 2 for Gulbuddin Naib. Kareem Sadiq has to go for the dreaded golden duck. 39 for 2 now. The captain comes to the crease. couple of minutes ago, he would have been sitting back nicely, enjoying the proceedings, thinking that everything's going swimmingly. How quickly this game can change. Suddenly, he's at the wicket and he's facing a hat-trick ball.
Yeah, surely game on now, because this could be the turning over. You're right, when Paul Sterling, McCullum were there, it looked very nice, hunky-dory, but this man has got a lot of experience behind him. 75th game for him, 450s as well, the T20 format. And Gulbuddin Naib will be on a hat-trick, and they're trying to create that pressure. A slip in place now for the captain, Asghar Afghan. He's sharp, bending his back, looking good rhythm. Bit of talk there, just moves away, backs away, Asghar Afghan. All happening here at the Sharjah cricket ground. Twist to the tail, isn't it? This is what T20 cricket is all about. It change very quickly.
Yeah, momentum can change as well. Well, he safely negotiates the hat-trick ball. Even in T20 cricket, sometimes I wonder when it's a hat-trick ball, maybe just get a few more attacking fielders. There was a slip in place, but maybe just someone in his eye line in front of him there. This is Paul Sterling, tried to smear one away on the leg side, and just succeeded in hitting it straight up to mid-off, and that was adjudged LBW. Maybe it would have hit the leg stump. He was quite a long way across, and Asghar Afghan, the captain, safely negotiated the hat-trick ball. End of 5, 39 for 2.
The chase for Kandahar Knights suffering just a bit in that last over. They were 39 for no loss and now 39 for 2. The two set batsmen, well, one set batsman, Paul Sterling, going for a pretty breezy 20. And then Sadiq, the keeper, for him nothing is going right today. Missed a few catches behind, and then today gone first ball. Change as Ben Laughlin comes in from the opposite end.
Wide ball.
Well, a little off on the line to begin with, but he's a very useful bowler. Flies the straight around the world. Well, very special guest with us, Shafiq Stanikzai, the CEO of the Afghanistan Cricket Board. Great to have you here. May I have the pleasure of shaking your hand. Well done. Congratulations.
Thanks.
I'm so pleased that the league is on, and we've had reasonable attendances and, of course, great performances. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, sir. Who else would be so happy than me? I know the challenges that we have been through, and finally we have the ball rolling. So indeed, it's a great moment for us as an administrators, and also for all entire nation is very happy, and they were waiting and counting days for this league to take place, and alhamdulillah it's happening now. So we are very happy, and we are looking forward for the success of this league.
Yeah, I feel when you say it was hard work, because I know a thing or two about such things, and they're very difficult to put together. But even just that first match, 218 scored, 219 made, the score was chased. What a great start. You must have been really happy with that.
A fitting start for a wonderful tournament. Yeah, we are very happy. It was an opening day, and almost 440 runs was scored on this great iconic ground. Nothing can be pleasing than that.
And of course, the other thing I must say, the standard of cricket in Afghanistan. I mean, it's been such a revelation. You guys are fearless with the bat. Lots of good fast bowlers, some mystery spinners as well. And the effort in the field, great catching, running around. It's been fantastic to see the rise of cricket in Afghanistan. Obviously, a lot of things are going well.
Exactly, the rapid rise of Afghanistan cricket is a motto and mojo for us. That we are carrying it, and we are doing all those, trying to tick all those boxes which needs to be ticked to be a competitive side, and also to be a force to be reckoned in the globe, cricketing globe. So exactly, all these great momentum that we have, we are taking it as an advantage for us.
I'm glad this all happening here in Sharjah. Very safe, wonderful. But, you know, I mean, personally speaking, I'd love for this to happen back in Afghanistan sometime soon. I hope it can happen. Who knows?
Well, we have taken some baby steps, to be honest. We had our Pakiza T20 league, and we have called few players from Pakistan. Unfortunately, we don't have none here. And players from Zimbabwe, West Indies, South Africa came and they visited Kabul. We have so I would say we have taken some baby steps, and who knows, till now Afghanistan cricket has done some wonders, and hopefully this is our vision as well, to bring peace into country and stability into to country through cricket.
Well, just one bounce, not carrying for 6. It's so much hard work for Brendan McCullum, as he's lost a couple of his friends at the top of the order. Not going to be easy to chase that 165, 166. But, you know, you mentioned baby steps, and baby steps tend to grow into bigger steps. So the most difficult steps usually are right at the top, and that you seem to have crossed now.
Exactly. You have rightly mentioned that the start of this tournament was very important for us, and that's where we have struggled for some obvious reasons, some obvious challenges that were put in front to this league.
Well, that's one of your problems. The cost of the balls, because they've been flying all over the place, outside, over the roof of the stadium. This one just inside, though. What a magnificent 6. So we end the 6th over, 53 for 2. Much better for Kandahar. We'll be right back with Shafiq. So Brendan McCullum finally upping his strike rate with that 4 and 6 off locking. That certainly has helped the cause, because they dug themselves into a bit of a hole with those 2 wickets in the previous over by Gulbuddin Naib. 2 wickets, just 1 run. With the slower ones, he keeps it outside off, making it very difficult. Sterling, of course, tried to sweep it from well outside. Slot sweep it, that is, and perished. And then leg before Shafiq, the first ball. I've also got to say that, there we are. Oh, look at the effort. Very strong man, Brendan McCullum. Followed way behind deep square. You have a lot of heroes who've been playing for a long time. We've got a few in the field today, Mohammad Nabi and also Asghar Afghan. But the most heartening thing, Shafiq, I have to say, is the number of youngsters, 17, 18, 19-year-olds who are playing such great cricket.
Well, cricket is very young in the country, and it's growing rapidly. The number of participation the number that is increasing the participation is something very amazing, and this tournament is a real good platform for all those young kids to showcase their talent at the global stage. And yes, of course, this will be a platform for them to be reckoned and to be picked by some of the other franchisee tournaments, and to go all gun blazing in the cricketing globe.
Yeah, he's bowling very cleverly. There's no doubt about that direct throw. Appeal, and we will go upstairs. Oh, well, that's the last thing we want now. Another wicket, of course, for Kandahar Knights. Are going along so well. I don't mean to be taking sides here, but Kandahar Knights lost their last match. And if they were to win today, then the points table will look magnificent, because we don't want anybody to lag or run away with it.
Yeah, from the tournament perspective, I'm also favoring Kandahar team to win this tournament, to have it wide open.
I think we should be happy with that. Well done. That was a little late. His bat came down a little late, but came down in time, just about, and should be okay. Green light. There we go. And I must also make special mention of the fact that you've managed, and I know how difficult it is, but you managed to get a fair degree of sponsorship. Gulbahar, your title sponsor, you got Fog as well, and a few others, so that must eventually be pleasing. All these things will catch up with time in the commercial circles, but just to have a few to begin with is good news.
Very true, Charu. I have to say that we were very late in terms of the execution, though the plan was set there, but for the obvious reason that I don't want to bring it here in the mic, we were late, and thanks to all the sponsors who came on board and who supported this league, the owners of the franchises, and also Gulbahar, Fog, and every other company who has taken part in sponsoring this event.
Yeah, and I was about to say the overseas players. Now, I know the tournaments such as these, the leagues are primarily to ensure that young, hungry talent from the domestic country comes up first. But just to have the presence of such terrific cricketers, we've got Brendan McCullum at the crease right now, Sterling was there earlier, and some of the other great T20 performers must also be so uplifting for the rest of the young Afghanis coming up in cricket.
Exactly, and that's very pleasing to the eyes and ears for us as well as administrators to see our young kids rubbing their shoulders with the greats of the world. Brandon McCullum, Chris Gale, Shahid Afridi, Colin Munro, and all these great names of T20 cricket. They're coming here and they're playing with them. They're playing under the special coaches, so it's a good opportunity for them, and they can learn a lot from this tournament, and they can take that experience into their career for future.
Pulled away, but probably just for one. Will they try the two? No. Okay, my personal favorite, by the way, Mohammad Shahzad. I just love the way he bats. It's very exciting. I mean, when he gets out, I'm like, oh God, no.
Well, he's a pocket rocket, to be honest, and he's an entertainer. Tough guy to manage, to be honest, but yes, he is brilliant on the field, and he has done brilliant services to Afghanistan cricket.
Well, I'm really pleased to be here, and thank you so much for joining us. I have to give you some unasked for advice. It's a simple, single, one-letter word. It's patience.
Exactly.
Yeah, because everything takes a bit of time. No Rome was built in a day, I keep saying. But there we go. Just a single of that as well. Another very good over by Gulbadin Naib. And a big thank you to you, Shafiq Stanikzai. Thank you very much, CEO of the Afghan Cricket Board. We'll take a short break. Thank you and good luck. Hard work for Brendan McCullum. Having lost his opening partner, Paul Sterling, it would have been a major setback. And then, of course, losing Sadiq first ball. And Brendan McCullum might have been wondering in there, oh my gosh, are we going to make a mess of this chase?
Boy, I'm looking forward to this. Qais Ahmed, the young leg spinner, late addition to this tournament, purely and simply because he was playing for the under-19s in the under-19 Asia Cup in Bangladesh. Young wrist spinner, and this is going to be terrific.
How about a wicket first ball? No, drifting down leg. All right, now all of you can join us in several ways, and one way to remain connected with the whole tournament is to go for myteam11.com, create your own fantasy team, get your favorite players in. Of course, plenty of prizes to be won, cash prizes as well. Oh, wow, he's got the jackpot right there. Well bowled. Yeah, we're certainly seeing that gang again tomorrow, and or the next match, and the next, we think. Brian, you've been very generous. Can I have a few?
Catch it, catch it!
It's pretty well bowled. Just the single. Usman Ghani down there at long on.
Asghar Afghan would have been aghast at seeing those 2 wickets fall in consecutive deliveries. But he's in there now with a chance to rescue his team and try and get points on the board. He has the company of Brendan McCullum, who's one of the most destructive batsmen in the world of cricket. So for Asghar Afghan, I think the task easy. Take a single, get Baz on strike.
Well, from Qais Ahmed's perspective, you could argue it's a daunting prospect to be bowling to McCullum and Asghar Afghan, but on the other side of the coin, if you want to impress anybody, what better way than to actually get the Afghanistan captain out?
Yeah, and or one of the finest strikers of the ball in short form cricket, McCullum.
Wait on, wait on!
Well, he certainly tricked the old captain. Went back to one he might have done better to go forward to.
Good news here for Qais Ahmed is that there's no dew this evening, so he shouldn't have any problems in gripping the ball. We've seen dew over the first 2 nights of this tournament, but it's not been apparent this evening.
Oh, well, I was about to suggest that Asghar Afghan was a little nervous, but that's his release shot. Yeah, danced down the track, and is that a 6 or now it bounced just in? And with that effort, Asghar Afghan says, I need a new bat. 8 gone, 64 for 2.
Around the world, just the one venue for this Kandahar Afghanistan Premier League 2018, powered by FOG. But look at all those broadcasters who are showing our coverage.
UK Free Sports. Oh, we'll hear more about it from you. But in India, D Sport, thank you. Well, what you don't want to do now or ever really is get run out. Asghar Afghan looking for one. They get it off the overthrow. So last ball of the last over.
Didn't middle it, nowhere near middling it, but he's such a powerful striker. Bang.
He hadn't done too well, 2 or 3 deliveries before that, and I suspect that was just a, well, I'm not gonna be embarrassed by this guy, so I'm gonna give it everything or bust. How about Naib? 2 for 6. Fabulous. Twin strike there, and even the next over didn't give anything away.
Wickets are the currency that Balkh need to be dealing in at the moment, because the target for Kandahar is a fairly middling one, you'd say, in this form of the game, particularly with someone like Brendan McCullum at the crease.
The current manager of the Afghan team, of course, he's working very hard here in Sharjah to ensure that everything goes according to schedule. He's seen just about every day. This is a rare moment when we've seen him sit back and have a cup of coffee. But you're right, if no more wickets fall, then Kandahar will slowly get to that 166, we think. Dashes it away. Is it in the gap? Well fielded again. Nice little slide.
Darwish Rasuli down on the long on boundary.
I think Rasuli came to bat rather late and couldn't really make an impression.
Good variation from Gulbuddin Naib. Player who's been around the national team for the last decade. Started out actually as a teenager. Cricket was one of his interests, but bodybuilding was another one.
That's obviously shared by just about every Afghan cricketer, I think. Oh yeah, another slightly slower one. And all they can do is take a single off it. So this is very clever bowling by Gulbuddin Naib. He's given nothing away and taken 2.
So I remember when he was with the side when they were playing in the World Cricket League Division 5 in Jersey. He was known as Gulbuddin the Body Naib.
In Hindi, of course, Badan is body, so Gul Badan. Naib, we'll settle for that. Up in the sky, that should be taken by long on. Running in, not going to be easy though, swirling away, and eventually very well taken. Oh boy, well that's the end of a very, very important wicket. Brendan McCullum sent it up in the air, and he'll be sorely disappointed.
That went miles, didn't it? And well, Darwish was under it. They're just going to check the no ball. Terrific grab in the end because it had snow on it by the time it came down. He was cool as a cucumber under it, Darwish.
Yeah, luckily for him, he had plenty of time. There it is, the check. Oh, the sufficient amount of the boot behind the line. So I'm afraid, Baz, you'll have to carry on and just think about your next knock.
He knew straight away, didn't he? Again, he's mixed up his pace really well, Gulbuddin and Darwish. Have a look at this. The body strikes.
You were right. So Brendan McCullum could not do it again for his team today. 31 from 29, 68 for 3.
Karim Janat coming in at number 5. The batsman crossed, so he's going to be on strike for the first ball of the new over. Bowled tidily today.
Yes, Brian, it was all praise for his bowling. Not the quickest, but lots of variation. Got a wicket for his troubles as well, but he walks in at a very difficult time for his team. Must be lots of pressure, because in franchise cricket there's pressure from ownership and lots of other kinds of pressures we can talk about, and if you lose a couple on the trot, then it can get really rough. So this is a difficult phase for Kandahar Knights.
Kais Ahmed was part of the St Lucia Stars side at this year's Caribbean Premier League, and his wicket celebrations included a reverse somersault when he dismissed Dwayne Smith. Let's hope he gets a wicket here.
Well, I'd love to see that, but sounds a little dangerous, Cass. Just take it easy, please. What did you say, reverse somersault?
Let's have another look at that wicket of Brendan McCullum. No reverse somersault from Gulbuddin Naib.
It's the reverse bicep flex. And there we go. Yeah, we see you, Gulbuddin. Well bowled. 3 wickets for nothing.
As well as that reverse somersault, when he dismissed Hashim Amla in the Caribbean Premier League, he produced a kung fu kick. Not at Hashim Amla, thankfully.
Just again drifting down leg, and here's the single. Could be tight. The throw wasn't quick enough. By Gulbuddin, I think it was. What's the use of all those biceps and triceps if you're not going to rocket it in?
On case once more. Remember, he was part of the Afghanistan squad that reached the semi-finals of the ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup in New Zealand at the start of this year.
Yeah, just about dug out. Very late on the ball. They get a single, so another very, very good over by the young Kais Ahmed. And on the other side, there's Gulbuddin, so this is very good for Balkh. And they, at this point of time, seem quite set on defending their total, but a partnership here is what's required. No more wickets, please. Ugh. 72 for 3 it is at the end of the over.
Well, they've let themselves a bit to do here. The Kandahar Knights, 94 off 60 required now. And they're 3 down as well. They need somebody to stand up, really do. They got off to a decent start with 39 for none after 5 overs, and it was going swimmingly, and suddenly they've lost their way a bit, lost a few wickets as well. Ravi Bopara into the attack, his 302nd game, 200 wickets. Look at that economy rate, that's key. 7.5 over that many games is outstanding. Best of 6 for 16. Took a bit of a pasting the other night. Wasn't at his best with ball in hand. Was really good with bat in hand. That partnership with Ryan Tenduskarte, outstanding. Didn't quite get going tonight with bat in hand, but he'll look to make amends here with the ball. Very skillful bowler. Good variations, and just skiddier than you think on occasion.
Yeah, what Kandahar really required between Asghar and Jannat is a decent partnership. The wicket of McCullum was a big one. In fact, Paul Sterling early just playing a loose shot. That really put a lot of pressure. Sadiq couldn't do much out of the very first delivery. Pressure just increased for the Kandahar side. You just need to stitch a partnership here and keep wickets in hand. That's going to be important for them. So got to keep an eye on the required run rate. Oh, that's played in the air and very nicely by sticking that gap. That's going to be a fork for the captain Asghar.
As long as Asghar Afghan is there, they'll feel they're well in this game. The Kandahar Knights, not exactly where he intended, but he'll take it nonetheless. He was trying to hit it away, probably a little squarer than that. A bit of the inside half of the bat, nobody in that area finding up in the circle. And a welcome boundary at this juncture.
The last game as well, Alistair, they lost 4 early wickets. Paul Sterling, Brendan McCullum, all were back in the heart pretty early. And as a reason, they couldn't muster too many runs. Here now the pressure is on the middle order once again. Nicely played, just clipping it. That's sensible. Oh. Got to keep an eye on that boundary every over and then retrieve the strike as well with the required rate. Almost 9.5 at this stage.
Yeah, they don't want to get it too far above 10 to the over. As soon as it starts going to 11, 12, then you're under pressure. Just need to make sure in these ensuing overs up to the 15th over that you're still managing to find the gap and find a few boundaries and going along at a healthy click. End of 11, 80 for 3. Desperately need a victory, the Kandahar Knights, to open their campaign here. I tell you what, he went for the reverse sweep. He's lucky he's got some bat handle, I think, or the glove. I think that's what saved him in the end. Certainly wasn't the pad. It was really full and he had to jab down, and I'm sure we'll see that again. Very ungainly, but he's managed to keep it out.
Well, Kais has been a very good job. He's flighting it, tossing it, mixing his deliveries very nicely. Trying that reverse sweep on that occasion. Oh, you're right, I think. He's getting some top part of the handle. Immediately then biasing, not out.
Oh, he's gone for the big shot and it's gone over extra cover. Swagiza! That is a fog maximum. Tell you what, it's a lovely strike. Just gave himself a hint of room as he came down the wicket. A lovely flow of the bat. And that has gone a long, long way. What a shot that is from the captain, Asghar Afghan.
That's a top shot. Great footwork as well. Exactly what he was doing, where he intended to hit, exactly where it's gone. Beautiful strike. Will add to his confidence with the turn. Goes on 24 of 19. Fog maximum. 79 of 51 shouldn't be very tough from here on. The fielder at deep cover just going a bit wider.
They're going to push hard, yeah. Think of two. Oh no. Wisely decide against it. Last thing they want at this stage is a silly run out. The Kandahar Knights, 8 off the over, still a ball remaining. And that's the sort of rate that they need to maintain from here on in. Cannot afford to lose another couple of wickets and concede another couple of tight overs. Another single. So 9 off the over, 12 bowled, 89 for 3. I know you've all been glued to your sets, but just a reminder, tomorrow's an off day, so that's the 9th of October, that's Tuesday. And it'll be an 8 p.m. game, Kabul against Nangarhar. So just the one game on Tuesday. Much needed day off for all the players, and they'll come back fully refreshed and ready to rock and roll on Tuesday evening.
It's not a double header on Tuesday, just a single game, and that's going to be an important one as well. Trying a few things, changing his options here. Ben was expensive in his opening over. Jannat, the man on strike.
Such a good bowler, Ben Laughlin. Really is a skilled customer. These are the 3 wickets so far. Paul Sterling, well, you won't want to see that again. He was playing so well. No need to do that. This was adjudged LBW. Kareem Siddiq, that was first ball. That was live. Just made it. Good call. He made it quite comfortably in the end. And the last of the wickets, the 3rd one, Brendan McCullum, went a long way up into the UAE sky, and well judged, good catch in the end.
Yeah, that was such a big wicket because he was at the crease for some time. Brendan McCullum just trying to open up, play those big shots, went high up in the air, and a very good catch, never easy under lights.
Flicked away, and will just be the single. Think of 2, but wisely decide against it. Well, we get these team sheets, and you know, the manager's supposed to give them all. I don't know if you can see this at home. I want to put it there, and just the second name there, you need to look at that, and it says Laughing Ben. That's who we've got bowling. So the team manager has it's tickled me tonight. That's gone a long way. That's fog maximum out of the ground, and it's gone a long, long way. They needed it. They needed some impetus, and Laughing Ben has gone the distance.
Well, at the moment, Asghar is laughing. No doubt about that. The way he's batting up, hitting a 6 in the last over as well. Against the leg spinner, this time on his knees. What a shot. Just getting the elevation that he required. He's batting really well. The captain wants to pave the way here. End of the 13th over, 99 for 3.
165 for 5, the Balkh Legends. Kandahar Knights in reply, 99 for 3. They were just stuttering a couple of overs ago, but Ashgar Afghan playing a true captain's innings thus far. 33 not out of just 24 deliveries. He's the key. If he stays there, they win the game. Simple as that, really. But he needs some support. Kareem Jannat just needs to hang in there. Hasn't been at his fluent best. He just needs to hold up an end. This will be an interesting tussle now. Mohammad Nabi brings himself back into the attack, knowing full well that needs to try and engineer something here, try and get a wicket.
He knows a thing or two about his captain Asghar Afghan. They both play for the national side. 100 up as well with that single. Yes, couple of overs up front with the new ball for Mohammad Nabi. Did a very good job, especially in his second over. Now coming back for the second spell.
That's a big appeal, I tell you what. He's given him. I thought it would be close. He was convinced, was Mohammad Nabi. He knew full well he had got his man. They needed a breakthrough, and who else to deliver?
Flathead trajectory delivery. Wrapped in front, trying to play the reverse sweep. Looked very adjacent. Loud shout by Mohammad Nabi, and the finger was up. Jannat really disappointed. Out for 8. And this was the wicket to fall. Right in front there, yes. Poor shot selection attempted. And the man who matters was impressed. That's the reason Jannat is walking back, out for 8. It's 100 for 4 now.
Mohammad Nabi, the captain, delivers, takes a crucial wicket at just the right time for his team. Najibullah is the new man to the crease for the Kandahar Knights. More importantly, from their perspective, Ashgar Afghan is still there. Straight away, off the mark, tucked off his pads. 65 of 38 deliveries, so still well in hand. As long as the captain Ashgar hangs about, you'll think that there'll be no panic and everything will be okay. The camp will feel that they've got this done. However, if there's another wicket that falls here, I tell you what, the jitters will really start to go through the Kandahar Knights camp.
I think he's got to bat through. That's going to be important for Asghar. He's experienced, he's batted well. He's very mature as a batsman, but he's got to battle the end. They've lost a few wickets. Decent over once again from Mohammad Nabi. Very important wicket. And the trick is to pick up regular wickets at regular intervals. A slip in place as well. It's a good move by Mohammad Nabi, attacking the new batsman. Good delivery. Not delivery to finish the over. 102 for 4.
102 for 4, 6 overs remaining. This is the time in the game that things normally start to unravel. They still need to go at a fair rate of knots to the Kandahar Knights to get over the line here, but you always feel that he's got a lot in the tank. Ashgar Afghan can find the boundary at will if he needs a 6, needs a 4. It's just the good players that can readily do that, and it comes to them pretty easily. Oh, down on one knee, trying to heave it away over the leg side. An underage, that means they'll just get a single.
He loves playing in that area, and I think Mohammad Nabi is well aware of that. That's the reason he's got a lot of protection on the onside in the deep, especially against Bopara, who uses the cutters to good effect, mixes his pace regularly. Now with the left and right combination, he's got to change the field accordingly. Najibullah, the man on strike. A lot of vacant spaces, especially on the onside. He's got to be sensible, just maneuver the strike, just rotate the strike. Bring back the set batsman Asghar.
Yeah, and Ravi Bopara will just be asking Mohammad Nabi, how does this guy play? Najibullah, where do I need to bowl? And obviously no one knows him better than Mohammad Nabi, and he'll just be in his ear saying, listen, these are his areas. They would have done their homework, these overseas professionals, but some of the guys they wouldn't have seen play before, so they just need a bit of help insofar as their abilities are concerned and where they need to try and bowl. There's no doubt that the plan will still be to try and change up the pace and try and be as cunning as possible. Generally, with a left-hander, though, you don't want to be giving too much width. You want to be trying to bowl at the stumps and tucking them up. As soon as they're allowed to free their arms, that's when they become dangerous.
Yeah, probably I think the thinking has to be that as far as Najibullah is concerned, just take a single, bring back Asghar Stanexar, who's really batted well so far. He's got a start. That's played well, ran the first one hard, putting pressure on the fielder, but he does well. Bouncing on the ball on that occasion, just settling for one. Asghar will be back on strike.
Yeah, it's important that the batsmen keep communicating, keep understanding what the plan is so they can execute. 36 unbeaten of 27 deliveries thus far, and he'll know the job is half done. Back in his crease and out of the ground. He can deliver when it's needed. Ashkai Afghan, fog maximum. And just when they needed a boundary, just when they needed a little bit of a lift, he's provided it.
And that's his area. That's a fog maximum. What a shot. What a clean strike. Transferring his weight to very good effect. Exactly what he was doing. Back of the length there. And what a clean strike. Exactly what they required. They'll ease the pressure, just break the shackles, having a word with his partner as well. He's a big hero back in Afghanistan. The national team captain, Asghar Afghan. He knows that this is a very important game. They want some points on the points table, and this could be the game for them. Difficult to retrieve the ball, so the new box might be out. But probably, I think, on this occasion, and still they're lucky. They got the ball back. Mentioned they haven't opened their account. Just played one game, they lost it. And as far as the net run rate is concerned, they're way down as well. So very important game for them. All the rest of the teams have 2 points apiece, leading the pack. Balkh Legends because of their good net run rate. But for Kandahar, it's a very important game.
He was just suckered in there, was Ravi Bopara, because he feinted to come forward to Ashkai Afghan and then got back in his crease and was able to pull it away. It'll just be the single on this occasion. 55 of 31. Just under 2 a ball, so it's still pretty hefty, the run rate that's required. But a few more spuggeezers, and they could bring that down well within range and allow themselves to canter home. But at the moment, still plenty to do.
Nelson on the board. Oh, that's not a great delivery. That should be a wide. And so you've been a fine batsman, you know, as a batsman some days when you walk in, you know you're timing the ball, you're full of confidence. That has been the case with Asghar today. The way he's batted, the way he's approached his innings, he's looked very confident. The footwork has been precise from him. He's looked good. But the big question is, can he continue till the end? Dot delivery to finish the over. 1-1, 2 for 4.
This match beautifully poised. Kandahar needing 54 off the last 5 overs, and they've got Asghar Afghan, the captain, in very good order indeed. Wonderful 6 in that last over. Laughing Ben Lachlan is getting ready to bowl again by the looks of things from the Sharjah club end.
The Kandahar dugout or dressing room seems to be reasonably confident. I wonder on what basis, maybe just because they're skipper. And of course, Kevin O'Brien's still to come. So with his experience and big hitting abilities, to me, Brian, this is being set up for a really fabulous finish. A cliffhanger, I think. Because run making is not easy. God forbid if for Kandahar this man goes, Asghar Afghan, back into the pavilion, then it might get really difficult. Otherwise, he may take them to the wire, and then a ball here, a ball there, a run here, a run there might settle this match.
They'll scamper hard, only one. Well, Ben Lachlan so far has been a little bit expensive. That's 25 runs he's conceded off 2 overs and a ball, but he knows what he's doing at this end of an innings. The leading wicket taker in the history of the Big Bash League in Australia, and he's played more Big Bash League matches than any player in the competition's history. So Mr. 2020, you could almost call him, really.
Well, he has a little bit of competition here in terms of Mr. 2020. There's Bopara, there's Brendan McCullum, who of course set the world of T20 alight with that magnificent 158 not out first match of the IPL. In many ways making the IPL the spectacle it turned out to be. And of course, plenty of others. A few are missing at this point in time. They'll be here, I believe, in the next day or two.
Interesting, isn't it, for that last delivery from Lachlan. Had 3 fielders inside the ring on the offside, backward point, extra cover and mid-off, and they were all in, saving the one. They weren't on the edge of the circle. They're trying to turn the screw here, slowly but surely, are Balkh.
On the contrary, of course, just one man inside the circle in the leg, short fine. So you know that what he cannot do is drift down leg. That was very well played by Najib, who, Hamid informs me, is actually a bit of a pocket rocket himself, because he's not very tall, but he can hit the ball a long way and can be trusted to finish a match in an over or 2. But the pressure of the league and the chase, of course, he hasn't played all that much. And to add, that his captain's in there, Asghar Afghan, looking pretty good, 44 from 30. So maybe Najib is saying, well, skipper, you want to just go ahead and do this?
Pulled away out towards deep mid-wicket, just the single. You mentioned about Najibullah, of course. Let's remember he was one of the stars of Afghanistan's ICC World Cup qualifying campaign in Zimbabwe earlier this year. 254 runs at just over 63, 3 half-centuries. 63 not out against the UAE to rescue the side, and 52 not out at 47 balls against Nepal to secure the first win for the team in the tournament. He knows what he's doing at this end of a match. Oh goodness, he's pulled away there because the sight screen suddenly changed from black to the sponsors. It's changed back again now, just before we were able to get a shot of it, and that's what's happening.
Well, exactly, just turns a little more than you'd like it to. It's got a mind of its own, that side screen. But we appreciate your support, Gulbahar, just because you're there. And they are our title sponsors, and they've done very well to ensure that the league got underway. Snixa Sports too, of course, the business partner, investment partner of the ACB. I think finally we might have Close sesame. Yeah, we're okay. But Najib did very well to pull away, really, because you know, you don't need any more distraction. Oh, swung away, could be straight to the man. Very well taken. One of the catches of the league so far. Najib will be so disappointed, but we'll have to say that has lit up the match and made it even more difficult now for Kandahar.
Case Ahmed hasn't taken a wicket, but I'll tell you what, he's taken an absolute blinder there. That was a terrific catch. He had to make ground to his left and to come forward as well. Had to make the decision whether to hang back and save the boundary or go hell for leather for the catch. He went for the catch and it paid off. Look at this.
That's just magnificent, diving to his left and clinging onto the ball, because every once in a while, of course, the bowler can appreciate it. Every once in a while when you land, the ball tends to pop out. Not this time though. So Najibullah couldn't offer his heroics today. 3 from 8. It's 115 for 5.
In at number 7, Kevin O'Brien, the Irish international, the man who earlier this year scored the first Test century ever by an Ireland batsman against Pakistan in Malahide. This is why he's here.
Yeah, it was a pretty useful shot, but he hadn't anticipated that this young man would race to his left, dive, take the catch, keep his eyes on the ball, take a tumble or two, and yet retain possession of the ball. Well done indeed. Oh, first ball. Did he get a bit of bat onto that? Because it could have been a close call. 16 gone, 115 for 5.
There's Case Ahmed having a little bit of a grin because he can see himself up on the big screen. He deserves to be up there with fielding like that.
I think he likes to smile because just about every ball he bowled pretty well, mind you, he was smiling on his way back to the run-up. So
that last over, just 3 runs from Ben Loughlin and the wicket, and that's tilted the balance back towards Balkh, he would say.
So 4 overs, Brian, and I suspect the next 3 or 4 balls could decide, to me, how this match goes. Because if Aftab Alam comes in, he's got 22, given away 22 from 2. If Asghar Afghan can power it through, I think Kevin O'Brien might relax just a bit. Otherwise, he might too go for it. So all sorts of possibilities. Oh, inside edge! Asghar Afghan devastated. Threw his bat in disgust. As I said, it's these 3 or 4 balls, and I'm afraid for the Kandahar Knights, this is a really big blow.
I'm not sure he threw his bat there, actually. I think he lost grip because it's quite humid out there. Obviously a few sweaty palms. Been out there for a while, Asghar Afghan. Setting himself with a big hit on the onside. And in the end, maybe he did just throw his bat down in frustration. But one thing that is certain is that the captain departs, bowled by Aftab Alam for 45, and Kandahar in all sorts of strife now, 115 for 6. What a big wicket that was for Aftab Alam. Look at the bottom of your screen there. Hamza Hotak and Kevin O'Brien, both on naught. They faced one ball between them, and they've really got to get a shift on.
In a sense, of course, time for a new hero, perhaps for Afghanistan cricket, or perhaps for Kevin O'Brien once again playing a heroic knock, as he must have done on several occasions, but not easy for Hotak. Strike rate of under 100.
His job basically is to get off strike and get Kevin O'Brien at the striker's end. But this is why Hamza Hotak is here.
We'll see it again. Of course, Asghar Afghan going for a big one off the very first delivery. In time, it got an inside edge. We'll show that soon.
Just can't get off strike. Hamza Hotak. Dot balls at this stage are dreadful as far as Kandahar are concerned.
Yeah, you know, I'm not hugely disappointed. Better that than a wild heave and getting out. So he's obviously trying to do the right thing, to sort of push it around, get Kevin O'Brien on strike. It's just that he can't seem to beat the one man inside the circle on the leg side. He finally does. And he could take two if they want. Yeah, go for it. A bit of a fumble. No, they can't think of three though. KS, of course, terrific catch. Maybe still dreaming about that.
Let's have a look at that wicket then. These are the last three wickets, in fact. LBW. Great catch by Case out in the deep. And there's Asghar Afghan. Frustration for him, joy for Aftab Alam. Oh, and Hamza Hotak has got lucky. Tempting the pull shot, gets a top edge, it clears the keeper. He gets a single.
Well, I thought that was gone, but luckily for Hotak, too much work for the keeper to do. And with just one ball now in this over, Kevin O'Brien is at the striking end. I wonder what must go through his mind. There it is again. The went for the big one inside edge. His head was high in the direction of where he thought the ball should go, and then I think in a little bit of, in a show of disgust, he let his bat go. I'm not suggesting he threw it, kind of just let it go. Yeah, bad luck, Asghar. You played well today.
2 4s, 3 6s in his innings. Well, Kevin O'Brien's going to keep strike. That's important from a Kandahar perspective. The end of the over, 119 for 6. You have to take your hat off to the Balkh legends here at the halfway stage. 165 for 5, looked a little bit below par. It certainly appeared that way as well when Paul Stirling and Brendan McCullum added 39 for the first wicket. But since then, it's been a terrific fight back from the men in blue.
Yeah, how about Naib? 3 for what, 8 or so? Incredible. Not very often that bowlers get to be heroes in T20 cricket. He certainly has been one today.
3 for 9 for him. Oh, make that 4 for 9. Wonderful slower ball Yorker. Kevin O'Brien's been bowled, and is that the last nail hammered into the Kandahar coffin?
Yep, looks like curtains for Kandahar. Kevin O'Brien went for a big heave. Slow to spot the slower one. And of course he played all over it because it was a very clever length too. Back of the hand, and played all over it. So Kevin O'Brien could not play the batting hero today. Still looking at the big screen saying, what went wrong there? Just a very clever ball, Mr. O'Brien. So he plays no part in the possible Kandahar victory today. 1 from only 3, or only 1 from 3. 119 for 7 now.
outside Shiraz. Shazad rather coming in at number 9. And he's got it all to do here. Gulbuddin Naib. 4 wickets for him. The first time in his career he's taken 4 wickets in a 2020 innings, and that's a fantastic piece of bowling, it really is.
Well, number 8 and 9 to me are not likely to do this. I have to say Shirzad bowled pretty well. We've got quite a bit of pace, so something to take from this match. But I don't think they're going to play the batting heroes, Hotak and Shirzad.
Confirmation of his career best figures. Yeah, singles don't cut it at this stage. They need boundaries, and lots of them in quick succession to Kandahar. But Balkh, once again, as was the case yesterday, just underlining their credentials even at this early stage of the tournament.
Well, they chased yesterday and defended today. Chased 177 quite comfortably in the end. 8-wicket win, how about that? And today, they didn't get too many. I thought they were at least 10-15 short of what could have been an easily defendable total, but they look on target to defend 165. Some great bowling performances.
It's off the splice. The amazing thing is as well, talking to Simon Helmont, their coach, before yesterday's game, very briefly, he was telling me they'd only had 1 full training session before yesterday, so they've gelled very, very quickly.
Yep, and individual performances can do that too. I mean, it's a team game, but really when you're out batting there, it's just you. And if you have what Ryan Deshkarter did yesterday, then well, a similar slower ball, I think, off the back of the hand. So this is not working out too well for Kandahar Knights at all. And it's rapidly running away from them, which would result in 2 losses out of 2, and that is a real setback. Asghar Afghan once again looking very distraught, and one can understand, because he was hoping to lead his team through from the front with the bat to victory. Not going to happen now.
Again, a slower ball, shy at the stumps at the striker's end. That will be the end of Gulbuddin Naib, a leg bye to end the over, and it's 123 for 7. Rest day tomorrow, our first rest day of the tournament, and then we return on Tuesday with a night match, Kabul against Nangarhar. Wide signalled. Aftab Alam bowling the penultimate over of this innings. This stage, it's going to be very, very difficult for Kandahar to mount any sort of challenge. Remember, at one stage they were 100 for 3. The wheels really have fallen off quite quickly.
Well bowling up top.
Not too many smiles there. Well, from a Kandahar perspective here, needing 41 from just 10 balls, it might simply be a case of just making sure and get bat on ball for the next 10 deliveries, just try and score whatever they can to minimise the size of the defeat that looks as though it's heading their way, and therefore not hurt their net run rate too much.
Well done.
A few smiles there in the Balkh dressing room, and no surprise, Ajay has joined me in the commentary position, and Ajay, it's been a very impressive performance again from the men in blue, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. I think very impressive with the ball, the way they have come back, especially after that partnership between Paul Sterling and Brendan McCullum. Oh, top edging, very lucky. Not where intended. Going to be a fork 4. Is it very late in the day?
Yes, you'd expect it to be too little too late. Bit of fortune for Hamza Hotak. You're going to swing hard, that's what he did. Well, cleared the keeper by quite some distance.
Intent was good, banging in short. Once again cleared in the air, Upish. Will be another run here. But really they lost their way in the middle overs. That's where they lost the plot, lost wickets. A lot dependent on the captain, Brian Asghar, the way he was shaping up. This was a big wicket at that stage.
Karim Sadiq, fairly crestfallen, a duck for him today. First ball. Heaved out towards deep mid-wicket. They've got a pulse still, Kandahar, but only just. 31 required from the last over. They're 135 for 7. The match summary, and you can see from that match summary that Kandahar Knights won the toss. They opted to chase on the basis that they were expecting dew this evening, which would obviously make it very difficult for the Balkh Legends bowlers. Unfortunately, from a Kandahar perspective, for the first time in this tournament, in the 3 nights that we've been playing, there's no significant dew at all, and so Balkh have really benefited from that.
You're right, Brian, because I remember I was down out there for the interview, and straight away after the toss, when he decided to chase, I was looking at the ground, just feeling the ground, and did mention that no dew so far. So he was really not very happy with that, because that's something that's not in your hand. But the intent was that if there was dew, the ball would come much better onto the bat. That hasn't been the case. But all credit to, as you mentioned, to the Balkh bowlers, the way they have bowled disciplined lines.
Low full toss, and that really is struck beautifully by Shahzad. 1 bounce for a Fogg maximum 4.
Really doesn't matter, because what he needs to do is now Ben just try not to bowl those extra deliveries, those no balls over those wides. That was really played well, but very late in the day. So again, that's gone between the gap. Going to be a fork 4. He's doing his job, but not good enough as far as the team is concerned.
Looks like an overhead smash, this one in tennis. Slower ball bouncer, bang. Duck hook right out of the middle of the bat, but yeah, too little too late, you would expect.
Not timing it too well, but really impressed, Brian, with the captaincy of Mohammad Nabi. You know, the way he's rotated his bowlers today, the way he introduced himself early on with the new ball, bowled those couple of overs, then came back. The way he's utilized the spinners, been very impressive. It's all about the right changes at the right times. Once again played in the air. That's going to be a maximum. for Maximum.
Spagiza, the last of the match. To 83 sixes in the tournament. Usman Ghani down there at long off. Couldn't quite latch onto that one, but you would imagine it's all academic. Really good strike again, though. And, the way these two have struck the ball in the last couple of overs, again, just a source of frustration, I guess. And Lachlan trying to sneak in and bowl the last ball when Hamza Hotak wasn't ready. But we're going to have that one again.
Lachlan had a word with the umpire. The reason why it's been called a dead ball, just had a few words with him. But immediately he did signal that dead ball. Exactly what happened. Non-striker was backing up as well. But now, finally, it's all over. So that's the end of the 20th over. And Balkh, they are won by 13 runs. It's been a very good performance by them. The way they have applied, the way they have bowled, the fielding has been good. They've taken the right opportunities, the right catch at the right time, and especially the wicket of Paul Sterling and Brendan McCullum. Those were the 2 wickets they wanted early. So great to Balkh. And with this win now, they move on to 4 points.
Yeah, terrific from them. The only side with maximum points after the first 3 days of the tournament. Gulbuddin Naib, career best bowling for him. 4 for 12, fantastic stuff. He mixed his pace up beautifully and completed a pretty impressive bowling display, you have to say, from Balkh. No wonder there's some smiles on the faces there, because at the halfway stage it looked as though it might be a difficult assignment to defend that 165 for 5, but they've done it with some comfort.
Yeah, you're right, and that's the reason they won by 13 runs. Munro doing a very good job with the bat along with Bopara. Ghani made a good start along with Munro. Janath getting 1 wicket, Hotak also getting 1 wicket, Shahbaz bowled well. But Kandahar Knights really lost the way. Asghar, the top scorer, the captain, 45 of 32. And Gulbuddin Naib was a star with the ball. 4 wickets for just 12 runs. Absolutely brilliant by him. The way he mixed his pace, shake hands all around. This game played in very good camaraderie. But overall, Balkh really were very impressive. Brendan McCullum, Asghar, Afghan would be very disappointed, because they look to have some big names in the ranks as far as the batting is concerned. Paul Sterling, Asghar Afghan, Brendan McCullum, all experienced campaigners. But somehow they haven't been able to muster those big runs. And today, chasing just fell away.
Yeah, they've got a couple of issues, Kandahar, haven't they? Not only those 2 defeats, of course, but also the fact that they've got that problem in the wicket-keeping position.
And mentioning about the points now, that's important, because we mentioned about Balkh. They are the only side, the top of the tree there as far as the points table is concerned. 4 points, the net run rate looks very good. They won both their games. And tomorrow, of course, being a rest day. And Kandahar, well, Knights, they are struggling. They've lost both the games. So remember, the top 4 teams, they will qualify for the playoffs. Let's go down to Alistair Campbell.
Thanks very much, guys. Yeah, Ben Lachlan alongside. Let's talk about the batting first. 165, probably not enough on that surface.
Yeah, I don't think it was that easy. It wasn't as dewy as it was yesterday in last night's game, so I think it was a pretty good total. We probably looked hard to score the last 4 overs, so we knew it was going to get hard for them to bat in the second dig, so no, pretty good in the end.
And what was the game plan when you went out there? I mean, obviously, you know, trying to defend that 165. What did you talk about? How did you want to go about things?
Yeah, we knew a couple of dangerous players at the top there, so stick to our lines, nice heavy lengths early, and then slow balls into the wicket looked pretty hard during our innings, so we sort of went to that and worked out well. But new leggy, bowled very well, so that was nice, and yeah, boys did well.
Yeah, and how do you feel playing alongside the guys in this competition, the Afghan players as well, getting to know them? How are you gelling as a team?
Yeah, really well. They're amazing guys, and yeah, it's been great to be over here so far, meeting everyone. Some amazing talents over here, so it's nice to see them get some exposure, and yeah, hopefully teach me a thing or two. Looks like it, yeah.
And top of the table now, 4 points, so going good, and obviously feeling confident.
Yeah, we're going all right. I think we've got a few things to work on, especially personally, but no, we're playing well, and it's good fun.
Well done today.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, we called him Laughing Ben Loughlin, and he's certainly smiling there, isn't he? Because his side are 2 from 2 after a very, very impressive performance with the ball. And there's confirmation of that performance. Kandahar, well, they got off to a really good start with Paul Sterling and Brendan McCullum, and they were 100 for 3 at one stage. But really, they just lost their way in the second half of their innings and lost it badly. In the face, it has to be said, of some really terrific bowling from the Balkh legends.
Yes, and really 4 wickets for Gulbuddin Naib. He was absolutely consistent, wearing his pace, absolutely brilliant. You see that economy as well, of exactly 3. Aftab, a touch expensive. Mohammad Nabi, the captain, did a spectacular show as well with the ball, bowling with the new ball early on. Loughlin, touch expensive, but overall, Balkh would be very happy with the result, winning by 13 runs. Munro, of course, leading the pack there as far as the batting was concerned, 46. And Kandahar Knights in the end falling away, 152 for the loss of 7 wickets in the allotted 20 overs. Asghar, the top scorer for them, scoring 45 of 32. We'll take a short break and come back with a post-match presentation.
Well, by T20 standards, perhaps not such a close finish, but a gallant effort by the Kandahar Knights, at the end of which they were left a few runs short and are now 2 matches, 2 lost, and as far as the early part of the league goes, under a little bit of pressure. But a big thank you to all of you for watching this doubleheader, and of course a big thank you to everybody here at the ground. Thank you for being here. Hope you enjoyed the action, because there's plenty of it. All right, let's just get to thanking the Afghanistan Cricket Board, and of course plenty of our sponsors. All of them we're very grateful to. We've got Snickster Sports, Fog Scent, Channel 4, 89.1, Q Ticketing, Balkh Mobiles, Kebab Al Afghani, Al Zahra Hospital, Sharjah, Sports Connection, and Khalij Times. And now, of course, a quick introduction to the presentation party for this last match of the evening on day 3. To my left first, Mr. Alladad Noori, advisor to the chairman of Afghanistan Cricket Board. Congratulations for the tournament. Mr. Parvez Habibi, by now familiar, representative of the Gulbahar Group of Companies, our title sponsors. Thank you again for your help. Mr. Kapilwak Safi, who's been here very often, owner of Kapilwak Mobiles. Congratulations again. Thank you for helping us. Mr. Mazhar Khan on behalf of Kebab Al Afghani. And now to the awards, at the end of which we'll have a special one as well. So the first one, Mr. Kapilwak Safi will present a check of US $500. If you'll step forward, please. And this one goes for the most stylish player of the match. For his 44 odd, I think it was, in pretty quick time, Colin Munro. Colin, if you'll step up, please. Lovely knock. Set the tone for the day. I know you'll be a little disappointed you were short of at least a 50, but well played. Our next award is for the most sixes of the match. Mr. Mazhar Khan will present a check of 1,000 AED. And for his gallant, I use the word again, effort today, it is the captain of the team that unfortunately didn't do too well, Asghar Afghan. Asghar, wonderful effort. Just a little short of where you might have wanted. And Asghar, since you're here, can we have a little chat, please? Also, ladies and gentlemen, please do welcome the captain of the team that unfortunately didn't win today. Asghar, at least with the bat, a much better performance. And I just saw your disappointment when you played on, and the bat also sort of fell off in disgust.
Bismillah Rahman. And first, I will give you congratulations to the Balkh team because they played very well. Yeah, I think the man distance is fielding because we dropped some catches and they take some good catches. And unfortunately, we played some poor shots in the end.
Oh, you remind us of a good point. You know, catchers do eventually win matches. But at the toss, you told me 160, 165. I think we'll make it. What went wrong apart from the catches?
Yeah, and you know, last couple after 14 hours, the game in our hand because but after that we lost 4 wickets early. That's the main reason.
Yeah, what a shame. However, the bowling today, the opposite side, they bowled pretty well.
Yeah, they bowled very well and good bowling variation also, but lucky they're not much due today because you know about the spray. But unfortunately, they bowled very well, especially they're fielding very well.
You make another important point. They were a little lucky there was no dew. I will have to ask you this. 2 matches, 2 losses, still plenty of matches to go, and surely you'll work something out to turn it around.
Yeah, we are learning a lot of things from these last 2 games because we have a lot of, we have 6 matches because we are thinking about that because they are gone. We are not thinking about past matches. We are learning a lot of things from that.
I hope you'll remember your batting today. Congratulations for that and good luck for the future.
Thank you very much.
Asghar Afghan, ladies and gentlemen, captain of the Kandahar Knights, unfortunately again on the losing side. Let's get to the other award, which is our man of the match, and he will get a check of $500 from Mr. Parvez Habibi. Mr. Habibi will step forward, please, and of course a trophy as well. Well, what can we say? Another fabulous bowling performance. His best ever, matter of fact, in T20s. Gulbadin Naib for his 4 for next to nothing. That's the check, and of course, Mr. Alladad Noori, if you'll step forward to give Gulbadin the trophy. And Gulbadin, if you'll join me, please, for a word or two. Now walk on over. Keep the trophy. In fact, I'm going to ask you to do something with the trophy. The celebration after the wicket. Let's see it. Go for it.
Yeah.
Come on. Don't be shy. All right, well bowled. What was special today? Of course, congratulations, your best ever in T20.
Yeah, definitely. When we batted on the last hours for other teams, so they bowled really well. So I have an idea. So the wicket is not easy. So I just changed my mind. So and bowled with variations, and that's why I got the wickets.
Have you been developing variety, the slower ball, back of the hand, some good stuff today?
Yeah, most of the T20s you should be ball with variation. So and this kind of players. So you face it like McCullum, Sterling, and our local players. So you definitely bowl like with variations.
When a team loses, it can get a little tough. But you won 2 on the trot. So I suppose team spirit is in very good shape.
Yeah, our dressing room is guys very positive, and we support each other in the dressing room. So who do well and who do bad. So that's the main point in our dressing room.
Congratulations. Fantastic performance today. Your best ever.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, Gulbadin Naib, our player of the match. And now just one task left. But before I call him for a few words, can I please request the captain of the winning team, Mohammad Nabi, if you'll sign that ball, please, for our fan of the match, which is Mr. Hadi, who is, of course, an Afghan, but now lives in Norway. Mr. Hadi, thank you for being here. And I hope you enjoy this specially signed ball by the captain of the winning team today. Ladies and gentlemen, do please welcome Mohammad Nabi. Here we are. Oh, boy. That was getting a little rough. 165. Did you think it was going to be enough?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yeah, it's enough for that kind of pitch from last 2 days. That the pitch will be different from today match, and 160, 165 is enough for that kind of pitch.
Yeah, but for you today, again, a good day among the wickets as well as runs.
Not that much run, but just a little bit mistake on the batting here. But the bowling side, the bowler brilliant. Is just focus on the dot balls on the start here. It's difficult ball in the circle in front of Mikalam here. Was just focus on the line of length and focus on the dot ball here.
No, you bowled very well, without doubt. No, just when Asghar Afghan was going strong, did you and the team feel, this could slip away?
Yeah, we just focus on the plan here, and maybe there's 10 runs per hour on the scoreboard here. There is one mistake will be change the match, and he did that mistake.
Yeah, and you caught very well today. Now 2 wins out of 2. A lot of people are saying early favourites, Balkh legends.
Yeah, we have just a little bit doubt on the fast bowling. We will try our best to bring him back that combination for the next matches. And hopefully we bowl brilliantly.
Mohammad Nabi, well played today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Captain Mohammad Nabi of the winning team, Balkh Legends. That's the end of our presentation today. On the last of double headers. Tomorrow is, of course, a break. Big thank you to the presentation party as we throw you back to the commentary box.
Thanks to Cherushama. And here's confirmation of the second match that we've had for you today. Balkh Legends put into bat by the Kandahar Knights, 165 for 5. We were wondering at halfway whether it was going to be enough, and it was. Thanks to some excellent bowling, particularly by Gulbadin Naib. Man of the match performance from him. Mohammad Nabi as well was excellent. And this is what it all means. Balkh Legends played 2-1-2, the only side with a 100% record after the first 3 days of the tournament, and at the other end of the scale, Kandahar Knights played 2, lost 2. They've got a bit of ground to make up if they're to get into the top 4, because it's only the top 4 sides that will qualify for the playoffs. So, a day off tomorrow, and then the following day, we've got one match for you, starting at 8 o'clock local time. Kabul Zwanan against Nangarhar Leopards. I hope you've enjoyed the action today. It's been tremendous fun bringing it to you. 2 matches that really have provided a great deal of entertainment. Rest day tomorrow for everyone, and then we'll be back in action on match day 4 of the Afghanistan Premier League, sponsored by Gulbahar, the title sponsors, and powered by Fog. On behalf of the entire production team here, and indeed everyone up here in the commentary box, thanks very much for joining us, and we look forward to your company next time. Ah!